John Myrie, the Down to Earth Network. And please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Update news. We're saying like Donald Trump, World War III? Could it be? Right? Could it be? Because they're saying that the supreme leader has been taken out, right? Donald Trump starts World War III. Is it possible? Now they're putting out news. It's been for a couple hours now. They're confirming. They're saying that Donald Trump and the American military has taken out the supreme leader. Right? Supreme leader is dead. So Iran's supreme leader is dead following a major attack by U.S. and Israel. This is okay. Dubai, United Emirates, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei died following a major attack by Israel and the United States. Iranian state media confirmed early Sunday. What? Early Sunday, throwing the future of the Islamic Republic in. So wait, hold on. Their time's different down there, but people, this is what's going on. Let's see, the supreme leader, they're saying they took him out. They blasted the palace. They hit the palace, right? And he was found, I guess, in rubble. So they that's what they're saying. They confirmed they took out the supreme leader, and let's see if the rest will, give in. Will they give up? All the rest, that's what they want. They want them basically to surrender. And if they surrender, right, they'll have immunity. That's what they're claiming. They'll get immunity if they surrender. But a lot of these people don't want to surrender because if they surrender, they know they might die because the things what they have done. They can't be in Iran still, right? If they surrender. So the news is the supreme leader is dead following major attack by the U.S. Let me go to something which is more known media. A lot of things are going down. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Down to Earth Network. I know a lot of people have been reporting this earlier, but I'm reporting this now. Right? So the supreme leader is dead following an attack by America and Israel. So what does this change? Does this mean everybody's just going to give up? I don't think so. Because a lot of the other people, there's other leaders dead, but the people who are the soldiers and stuff like that, they may not want to give up, and it might be a fight, bloody fight. Will they give up? Are they loyal? Remember, this guy was looked on like a god or some shit like that, right? So it's going to be different trying to convince every one of them to just give up. So a lot of people are going to die. That's what's going to go on. That's what's going to happen. Iran has targeted the United States assets across the Gulf Arab states in retaliation for the huge joint attack on Iran by the U.S. and Israel, sparking fears of the regional conflagration. That's what they're saying. The Iranian government on Saturday confirmed its attacks on several targets, according to the Fars news agency, including Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Emirates, where air bases with the U.S. assets are hosted. Right? You said, why would they give up? You said you wouldn't, but you know what? You're right. They're not going to give up. They're loyal to that leader. So he's going to get mixed reactions because a lot of people are saying it's a good thing they took him out because what he was doing to people who are protesting, Iranian people, that he was basically unaliving a lot of people, right? Him and his regime. That's what they accuse him of, being evil. You heard what Trump said. That's what Trump said. He's evil. So Trump talks annihilation, elimination as U.S. Israel attack Iran. Trump says major combat operations in Iran have begun. Yeah, of course. What to know about the U.S. attack? So they're going to be hitting all week. Like this is a major attack. They still have to go after a lot of the power structure, right? Like the Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard, right? Corps, the IRGC claim all Israel and US military targets in the Middle East have been struck by powerful blows of Iranian missiles. That's what they're saying, and it's really happening. They're hitting places in Kuwait, they're hitting places in in the Middle East where America has interest in there. They're hitting these bases, right? This operation will continue relentlessly until the enemy is decisively defeated. He said all U.S. assets throughout the region are considered legitimate targets. I think that's the president, right? For Iran's army. That's the president, I think, right? Talking. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Salute Jonathan Thompson in the chat, right? Salute to Tony in the chat and Kicks, OG Kicks, much respect in the chat. The operation will continue relentlessly until the enemy is decisively defeated, he said. Okay, so big war is going on. Like, I don't know, I think it's still going over a lot of people's heads. I think a lot of people ain't like, this is something really they didn't expect, and because of all the other stuff what's going on in the media, they didn't expect this, but I expected it. If you do your research, you will expect this stuff going on. It was in the making. This is not just, oh, they just showed up. It was a couple weeks, a couple months. They were planning this whole thing with Israel. But this is where it gets sticky, because they're attacking Israel too, right? They were prepared for this. They were preparing for this because they already got hit the first time. They already got hit a while ago. It wasn't too long ago when Trump attacked and blew up a couple of their nuclear sites or whatever they had there. So they were getting ready, right? And Israel is with it. This is what's getting sticky, because they're hitting Israel, they're hitting Kuwait, they're hitting Saudi Arabia, they're hitting anywhere, because guess what? Now they might panic. Look, they lost their supreme leader. What does that mean? So it says this, right? So Foreign Minister Abbas Arachi said in a letter sent to the United Nations Security Council, the Secretary General Antonio Guterres, that Iran would continue to exercise its right of self-defense decisively without hesitation and aggression, seizes full, you know, they're going to be fighting. That's what they're basically saying. Regional attacks, United Arab Emirates. So they're attacking their neighbors, right? Because they're associated with America. So at least one person was killed in Abu Dhabi, the UAE capital, after several missiles launched from Iran were intercepted, according to the country's state news agency, which provides no further details, right? Meanwhile, a fire broke out near a hotel on Dubai's Palm Island, attracting with what? Attraction. So a lot of things are going on, with huge plumes of smoke seen from the distance as multiple blasts echoed through the day. So pure crazy shit's going on. Iran has a civilization over 5,000 years old. Yes, America 250 years old. Who does America think they are? They think there's something, Tony. They think there's something. See what all the noise is coming from. But yeah, they're doing something. Something is there's a lot of things going on right now. Like I said, it's still new news to right now with the supreme leader eliminated, as they're saying. But even though he's eliminated, Iran is still moving. They're hitting Bahrain. It said Bahrain. Bahrain said a missile attack targeted the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, which are hosted in the capital of Manama. So they hit somewhere in Bahrain, a U.S. base or something. The government called it a treacherous attack and a blatant violation of the kingdom's sovereignty and security. So it's making the other countries come in with it now. They're going to be going in with it. Is this good? It's a united effort, but other countries are going to get in with it with Iran now, right? even though, because they got a base there. Later footage circulating on social media appeared to show Iran and a Shahid drone smashing through the tower block located near the headquarters, setting the building ablaze. So, is this cooking up all of this stuff? Is this really cooking up to the World War III? Because certain countries are quiet right now, right? Like Russia, you're not hearing too much yet. China, you're hearing the rumors, but you're not hearing anything yet. Both those countries are with Iran. They have some business with Iran. Both those countries were good with Iran. They had oil contracts. So, how are they going to be towards this American Israel war? Because finally, this is historically, America is actually in the Middle East. We're with Israel, working a military operation, right? In the public eye, like we knew American Israel was always good, but they're actually doing it right now, and people are seeing it, that they're like blasting everybody, right? Everybody who's part of that regime, and they're still going after them because they're still around. They're sending missiles all around the Iranian whatever's left of them. They're still sending out missiles in Kuwait too. I just told you Bahrain, Kuwait. You remember Kuwait? That's where they had the American military for the Iraq War, the first Iraq War. I don't know if it was the second Iraq War, if they got to stay in Kuwait, but Kuwait defense minister said that Ali Salim Air base came under attack by a number of ballistic missiles, all of which were intercepted by Kuwaiti air defense systems. So they had sent missiles to Kuwait, but they all were intercepted. Abdullah Al Rajhi, spokesperson for the General Authority of the Civil Aviation in the state of Kuwait, said that the drone targeted Kuwait's international airport, leaving a number of employees with minor injuries. Right? So people were getting hurt, but not bad, causing material damage to the passenger building. Either way, these guys are getting, they don't care. They're just, letting off everything because they feel that they're losing their power. Because they're losing their power, they're going to get desperate, and they're going anywhere they feel America is, and Kuwait's one of the places. The official Kuna news agency cited a statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs saying that Kuwait maintains its right to defend itself. You know what that means? They haven't hit Iran yet. They haven't hit Iran yet. They're bringing threats too, and they rightfully should. They're defending themselves too. The problem is Iran is hitting other places, what are Muslim countries too, but they probably look on them as sellouts because they're good with America, like Qatar. In Qatar, the defense minister says it, thwarted it, attacks on the country in accordance with a pre-approved security plan, intercepting all missiles before they reach the country's territory. Right? So the defense minister, that's what he said, right? A long-range early warning radar in northern Qatar was targeted by Ibrahim. Well, I never heard of that. Iranian missile. Let me read that over again, people. And please subscribe. Bring up the likes. It says, right? A long-range early warning radar in North Qatar was targeted by Iranian missile. According to the sources who spoke to Al Jazeera, no injuries were reported. Now, Qatar's foreign minister said that the targeting of Qatar by a neighbor cannot be accepted under the justification or pretext, pointing out that it had always distanced itself from regional conflicts, saying they don't deal with shit. They always distance themselves from all this types of stuff, what was going on in the Middle East. So why are they getting attacked? Qatar was targeted twice last year when Iran mounted an attack on the A1 Udeid base used by the U.S. military in June, and Israel struck Hamas, meeting with Doha in September. A lot of things are going on. America should do its own bit. They don't care, America. As Americans, we should recognize people longing to be free, help the way the French helped us gain our freedom. So, yo, that's what Mazar High Point said, people. What do you guys think? And people, please subscribe, like, comment, and if you want, you can support the platform. We got the super chat here too, highlighting your your comments. So it says Saudi Arabia. Even now, this is Saudi Arabia. First, it was Qatar, right? A statement by the Saudi foreign minister confirmed that Iran targeted Riyadh and the kingdom's eastern region, adding that the attacks were repelled. So both of those countries knocked out anything what was coming from Iran so far. These attacks cannot be justified under any pretext or in any way, and they came despite the Iranian authorities knowing that the kingdom had confirmed that it would not allow its airspace and territory to be used to target Iran, it added. So a lot of things is going on, right? A lot of things is going on. Will this be World War III? I'm gonna get to that. All this fighting going on right now, right? And Trump is the main character. He has taken out the leader or the supreme leader of Iran, who was running it for almost 40 years, that country, right? And then the army there and the police and whoever's part of the government, they better give themselves up, because if they don't give themselves up, right, they're going to be the next victims. They blast the palace today. That's what happened. They hit the palace and killed the supreme leader and a couple other people. America should mind their own business. You're right. I have to say that again. Yeah. So what does this? What's this gonna do? I'm hearing there's a lot of people in Iran who are actually happy about this. They are happy. They should be happy. A lot of them actually, because if this man was doing like you know, killing a lot of protesters for speech, freedom of speech. If that's true, if you've been killing thousands of people just for speaking their mind, right? Yeah, he deserves everything what came to him. He doesn't deserve to have any power, right? And a lot of countries are agreeing with America. Even Canada is agreeing with America. Um, Britain is putting themselves in this now. Or UK, they're talking about, they saying they sent some people over there. So you got a couple countries starting to pay attention more. So you got Britain over there. Canada's not gonna go, but then Britain is there. That's my point. Britain, America, and Israel. They're all over in Iran. Let me say it again. Britain, America, and Israel, they're all in Britain. I mean, they're all in Iran, right? All those countries are in Iran. How long will they be in Iran? That's the question. How long you're going to see America in Iran, and how long will the UK be in Iran, and how long will Israel be in Iran? Because right now, when they're bombing them, right, from the sky, when they're finished taking out all whatever they have as a defense, the people they're saying should be taking it over. It's your time to take it over. But is that going to be easy? There's probably going to be something like a civil war. It's not going to be easy. Even if they take out all of the whatever the power, the uh, whatever whatever weapons they got, then it's going to go down to the ground. It's going to be that, and those people who's working or whatever with the supreme leader, they could hide themselves now. They don't have to have the military uniform anymore. They could go camouflage, and they'll still be the same evil people that who are killing them. That's what's gonna happen. People are just gonna just you're not gonna recognize who's who. They're not gonna give up like that. They don't trust that. That's what Trump was saying. Donald Trump is thinking that all these people who was working for the supreme leader is just gonna give up. Like they're all just that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen 100%. You could see in the reports recently that they're still firing missiles all around the place. No one has give up like Venezuela. It's not the same as Venezuela because there's a whole listen, let me go to it. It's basically still going on. Like right as we speak, bombings are probably going on, missiles are being launched, whatever they got. They've been attacking. So what? U.S. and Israel attacks massive. Now let's go on to the other side. What's going on? Because U.S. been getting hit too. America been getting hit, and some of the countries where their bases are, they all been getting hit actually by Iran. Iran been hitting. Yes, a lot of their missiles were intercepted. Majority of their missiles were all intercepted, but some of them hit some targets, and they hit places in the Middle East, their neighbors, right? So this is going to cause a bigger scale war. And that's why I'm saying Donald Trump, right, just started off, like sparked off this World War III because you're going to start to see the big countries get into it. That's what's going to be the difference. You're going to see was talking a little bit, and they were saying nothing positive. They're basically saying America's wrong for doing this. They don't agree. China's quiet though. You're hearing them say that they're wrong for doing this. Putin, because they get oil from Iran. He didn't have nothing good to say about this whole thing, right? He didn't have nothing good to say, Mr. Putin. He doesn't like this. There's so much stuff what's out right now, people. And people, please subscribe, bring up the likes if you can. There's a lot of things going on. There's bombings probably right now. Let me look it up. It's crazy, people. Please subscribe. Bombings in Iran. The United States and Israel, yeah, we all know that. Killing the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. How you say this man's name? Khamenei, in the astonishing joint military operations that could dramatically shift the power of dynamics in the Middle East. Now, it's going to leave a country where it's going to have a civil war. That's what's going to happen. It's going to have a civil war because they still don't know how that government really works. They got the supreme leader and they got a president. Remember that. They got a supreme leader and they got a president. So they have a different type of way how they do their structure because this guy is who millions look up to the, in their country or did look up to. And then they got a president still. So they got a political side and a spiritual side, if you want to call it, even if it's like this guy is sick and crazy. He was using religion to justify what how to run that country, and people were getting. I swear they were saying they were getting beheaded in that country for like if they broke any type of whatever law they're going by. I don't know if it was Sharia law and stuff, but let's see what Trump got to say about this. I don't want to get that. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Let me see. I'm trying to get. There's America news. It's everywhere, all around the world. People are talking about this shit. So let me see. America is minding its business. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that Iran has had these horrible and awful laws treatment of its own people. We are just protecting ourselves and the world for that. Yes, much respect. Below zero. Yeah. Um. It's not gonna stop. This is gonna actually get worse. It's not gonna be like Iraq though. I could put bet on that. It will not be like Iraq. And I'm hearing certain things are going on in Iraq. It's not any better. It's not any better since the war and stuff like that. So right now, there's a lot of different events going on in the world, right? And distractions. I'm hearing even in Afghanistan that they're warring with Pakistan right now. They're having a little war, but no one's gonna look on that. Pakistan is fighting Afghanistan, right? So something's going on there. Meanwhile, all of this shit is going on in the Middle East, and this is some serious business, right? This is something what's really affecting that region, and it could bring other players into it, like Russia. How long Russia? Well, they're not quiet. What Putin had to say about this? Because when I talk about World War, Trump really sparking off the World War III, it's because the other ones, world powers, are going to want to get into it. So once you get China, who wants to kind of like defend Iran, and you get Russia stepping in it, and they want to defend Iran, are they going to take out that power structure? See, that's what it is. Think of it. They want to make sure America wants to kill fast and Israel, whoever's in charge, who still is loyal to the supreme leader. They don't want anybody who's loyal to the supreme leader around. Like, I mean, still thinking that they're gonna run the country the way it was. They want them to basically give themselves up, and they'll get immunity. That's what Trump is saying. Give yourselves up and you'll get immunity. So will they give themselves up? And if they don't give themselves up, how long will it take? They're hoping a week of bombing will make them all give up. That's what Trump is hoping. A week of bombing them and Israel will make all of the soldiers and the police and whoever make them give up. Do you guys think that's going to happen? A week of bombing will make all of the military in Iran give up? Remember, it's 90 million people. So I don't think the army's like a small army. They must have probably like, just say, I'm just going to put out a number for Iran. They might have like 80,000, whatever, 80,000 to probably over 100,000, if not more, soldiers. And this is Iran, so you never know. Maybe they even have 1 million soldiers, right? Or more than 1 million. It's 90 million. Remember how they were running it with this guy, supreme leader? They probably forced certain people to be part of the military. Maybe. I don't know how this guy was running the country, the supreme leader. I would have to look it up. But I wouldn't be surprised if they forced all the men or something like that, like certain countries. You got to be in the military from a certain age, right? Like Russia does it. Some European countries do it, right? So World War III, some people might think that's too, you know, harsh, but it's going like the Bible right now. It's going like the Bible, biblical right now. Russia, China, and America, and the rest are like all around, and Iran, like all of these, all these players. If you want to say conspiracy theorists or people who believe in too much in the Bible and shit, but this is all in it. But I think it hurts China too. This is a calculated move on Trump's part, but he could potentially spark revelations. That's what it seems to me. This is like it's sparking revelations. Like, I don't know if people know that story. Like, people are going to look on the history of Iran, right? And just what social media is showing them. But you could go even Google revelations right now, Gog and Magog and all that. And in the interpretation, the translation would be like China, Russia, America, and maybe there's one more, but Iran. It seems this is like the stage for everything to kind of start, because Israel's in there. Think of it, Israel. What has Israel been doing for the last couple of years, especially? What did they do to Gaza? What did they do to a lot of the Palestinians? How, like that whole conflict, right? So now they want this shit because they're blaming Iran for helping what's called the Gaza for so long. They're blaming Iran for funding whatever, maybe the Palestinians. They're blaming Iran for funding a lot of different groups that they got problems with. So finally, more than ever, they have America showing their power with Israel. So this is not good for the Middle East. This is not good because now it's going to make them fight themselves now, right? Now it's going to be really unstable because you cannot just get rid of the army like that. Like, I don't know, this is 2026, right? Do you really think the people who he has in that army or whatever who support him are just going to give up like that? Remember, listen to his name, the supreme leader. The supreme leader. How this man has so much influence. What has this man done for so much people to keep him in power? That's my question. What has he done, this supreme leader, to make him stay in power so long? Right? You got to ask yourself, people, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Israel is the home of three arguable largest religion groups in the world, and Jerusalem cannot fall or its revelations. Well, this is how it can start. Like what you're saying, below zero. You're right. But yeah, Israel cannot fall, or they'll go, that revelations stuff. Iran's supreme leader killed in major attack by US and Israel. So I want more details what they're saying. President Donald Trump announced the death hours earlier, saying it gave Iranians the greatest chance to take back their country. Yes. So that's what I remember, he said that. He came out with it. So he's 86 years old. Let me get down to earth about this guy. State media report that the 86-year-old was killed in airstrikes targeting his compound in downtown Tehran. Satellite photos from the Airbus showed the site heavily bombed. Oh shit. They bombed that shit. His death at his office showed he constantly stood among the people at the forefront of his responsibilities, confronting what officials call global arrogance, state TV said. Iran's cabinet warned that this great crime will never go unanswered. So they're still around. Iranians initially cheered from rooftops and their homes in Tehran, Iran's capital, when rumors first started to spread late Saturday of Khamenei's death. Khamenei, one of the most evil people in history, is dead. Trump wrote on a social media post, probably Truth Social. He warned of heavy and pinpoint bombings that he said would continue throughout the week and even beyond. See? Continue throughout the week and even beyond. So they're not stopping. This is just the beginning, people. That's why I gotta just tell you, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And please subscribe. Bring up the like. This is one day, no. He's saying it's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep going. Heavy and pinpoint bombings that he said would continue throughout the week and even beyond. Part of the lethal assault the US has justified as necessary to disable the country's nuclear capabilities. So they ain't leaving until you hear that? Clearly what he said? Until everything is destroyed, what they have as a military, unless they give up. That's what he's saying. Throughout the week to disable the country's nuclear capabilities. So they're going to be digging. They'll be digging and digging. The bombing ain't finished. It's probably going on right now. The attack opened a stunning new chapter in U.S. intervention in Iran, carried a potential for retaliatory violence and a wider war. Yes, that's going to happen. And representing a startling flex of military might for an American president who swept in office on America's first platform and vowed to keep out forever wars. Right? The killing of Kwame, the second Trump administration assault on Iran in 8 months appeared certain to create a leadership vacuum. Okay, when they first attacked them, that's what they're saying. When they first attacked them, he wanted to show the people of Iran that these guys could get hurt. They're not invincible. So in 8 months appeared certain to create leadership vacuum given the absence of known successor, right? Of known successor and what is it? Successor because the 86-year-old supreme leader had the final say on all major policies. Okay, so that's how he works. He has the final say on all major policies. So even though they got a president, after whatever they go through, it has to go through him. He has the last say. He has the last say, the supreme leader. That's how they were working. That's how they used to work. The 86-year-old supreme leader had finally had the final say on all major policies during the decades in power. He led Iran's clerical establishment and his paramilitary revolutionary guard, the two main centers of power in the governing theocracy. So that's what he was leading, the Revolutionary Guard. That's how he probably kept his power, right? Paramilitary and clerical, like he's spiritual and shit like that. As a result, as reports trickled out about the death, eyewitness in Tehran told Associate Press some residents were rejoicing, blowing whistles, and letting out Oli. So people been celebrating it ever since his death. But that's not everybody, right? Iran, which responded to the strikes with its own counter assault, warned of retribution. Ali Larijani, the secretary of Iran's National Security Council, said Saturday that Israel and America will regret their actions. The brave soldiers and the great nation of Iran will deliver an unforgettable lesson, hellish international oppressors. That's what this guy Larjani posted on X. Holy shit. This guy is brave. I have to give him it. This man is still going to fight. So the joint U.S. Israel operations, which officials say planned for months, which I knew that, took place Saturday during the Oh, shit. This is interesting, people. Let me bring this back. This is coincidence. This is something. Israel, I'm sorry, I don't want to say nothing bad, but check this. The joint U.S. Israel operation, which officials say was planned for months, took place Saturday during the Muslim holy fasting month of Ramadan. So Israel knows that shit. That is symbolic. How they attack them on that, the Muslim holy fasting month of Ramadan, and at the start of the Iranian work week. It followed still negotiations and warnings from Trump, who last year trumpeted his administration success in incapacitating the country's. Oh, okay. Look how they put this whole. They could just put it straight, saying because they brought that they hit their nuclear program. Nonetheless, cast the last round as necessary to head up. Okay, whatever meetings that didn't go good. The meetings didn't go good. That's what they're talking about. The meetings just didn't go good. Iran did not want to listen to America because they know America is with Israel. It's this big thing, historical thing. The Muslims and the Jews don't like each other. Let's be straight up. Not saying all don't like each other, but in that region, the Muslims and the Jew just don't get along. So they feel that they're infidels, for example. You get what I'm saying? So they feel America is infidels. Everybody is. About 12 hours after the attack began, the U.S. military reported no U.S. casualties, minimal damage at U.S. bases despite hundreds of Iranian missiles and drone attacks. It said targets in Iran included Revolutionary Guard, command facilities, air defense systems, missiles and drones, launch sites, and military airfields. Israel, for its part, said it had killed the commander of the Revolutionary Guard, the country's defense minister, as well as the secretary of the Iranian Security Council and a close advisor to Khamenei. I guess that's how you say his name, right? Khamenei was unable to avoid our intelligence and high sophisticated tracking systems. And working closely with Israel, there was not a thing he or the other leaders that have been killed along with him could do, Trump said. You see how he talks? This is the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. That's Trump. People, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, what you're saying, his kids don't go to war. Yeah, they'll never go to war. They'll never go to war below zero. They'll never go. You say Trump don't give a F, everybody? Yeah, he don't care. He don't care. Of course, he don't give a damn. But he wants to go to war. This is sparking off the World War III. This is not just Iran. I'm like people in the chat who's joining. It's gonna be Russia and China. They're gonna step into this. So will they want America to change their deal now? Because America and Israel, when they bomb them out, just say they were to bomb them out and they all give up, all the Revolutionary Guard, everybody gives up, and then they form a government. That government is going to be loyal to America. So that means the oil in Iran is going to be good with America and even Israel. And he has Venezuela. Think of it. They got Iraq. They got a lot of real estate. So they already got Iraq from years before. They do have Iraq. They're just not telling you that. They got Venezuela. And then now they're going to have Iran. That's a lot of oil power. You think Russia likes all this shit and China? That they're going to have to bow down to America for Venezuela oil, which they were dependent on too. And then they're going to have to bow down to America and Israel for Iranian oil because, like it or not, America's going to have some say over whatever they shell out. But we didn't beef too much. That was the power move. Follow the money. Yes. So the other countries now, they're not gonna like what America. They don't like what America's doing. So far, Putin had nothing good to say. Putin had nothing good to say about this whole situation. He's basically saying it's illegal, right? He's talking bad about what's his name, Netanyahu, the guy from Israel, the president of Israel. He's talking bad about him. He don't like him. So they took out the supreme leader. What next? What's next? What he said is next: a bombing all through the week until they give up. They're just gonna bomb them out, smoke them out. That's what they're doing. Like he's raw. What Trump is talking is basically war. There's nothing. They're not relaxing on them. They're taking them all out until they give up. There's no relaxing, no breaks, no pumping, no brakes. And what makes it worse, they've been trying to hit targets, other countries where the American bases are. So now, because they're doing that, they're gonna hit them even harder. Watch through the week. He said through the week. So today they're still going on it. They might take a break, and then Sunday they're gonna hit them, and then you're gonna hear Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday until these people give up. They want them to give up. I don't imagine we see any boots on the ground unless we are after. No, you know who's the boots on the ground? This is the deal. This is what I'm telling you. Like this is the World War III. Like I put up the title. The boots on the ground will be Israelis. That's who's gonna be the boots on the ground. After America bombs and Israel bombs, they'll be the ones who be on the ground because they got the experience. They're already doing all this stuff in Palestine or whatever, Israel, if you want to call it. They've been doing this. So now that's probably the deal. America said, we will help with the air. We will find everywhere where they're at, but you guys could go after. Who killed the supreme leader? Really look on it. Who killed the supreme leader? It was Israel. They said they captured him. I don't know if that's true. They said first they captured him, then you hear that he's dead, right? Under some rubbles. So it was Israel what found him. So that obviously shows you they're on the ground. They're on the ground, but America is not on the ground. Maybe they could be, but they're up high, right? Bombing and seeing wherever these facilities are. That's what's going on, right? So what's next is more places getting found, more places getting, you know, blown up. There might be some innocent people who feel it too. There might be some innocent people who are victims of this. He's even Trump was saying that there might be some casualties. At least he's admitted. He's saying like, yeah, in the beginning, yo, there could be casualties, American casualties. So don't get mad at him because he said this is war. Didn't that come from his mouth? He said it's war, war, right? Yes, they did say it. And under so let me say, yes, they did say it was the Israeli in the plane strike, from my understanding. Yes, below zero. Everyone, the US has never retreated from a fight ever. We don't bow to no MFs since 9/11 bombing or the Persian War. No, they're not going to go nowhere. This is depressing. Would you think at some point we could talk and act like human beings? Right now, it's all out war. And now the thing you should wait for is the reaction from the other countries. The reaction from the other countries now. But Trump don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. You see how he deals with his business with the tariffs. But the reaction now, China doesn't like it because I'm hearing majority of China's oil comes from Iran. Let me look that up because the title is the World War III. What I'm telling you guys, Trump, right? What, where, and you guys probably know, where does China get most of their oil? And if it's Iran, boy, that's red alert. That's red alert. If it's Iran, I want to see if it's that'd be interesting. We are king supreme, and neither Russia or China want to cross the line. It's still not good, no matter what, because it's not just America. It's not saying it's just America they're gonna go to. Remember, they're not fighting in America. They're fighting overseas. They're not fighting in America. They're fighting overseas. Even though they're telling you that they're bombing up Iran, Iran still got to damage some places. I've seen a lot of video. They're damaging whatever, even if it's not, because it's not hitting America. It's hitting the people who are from those countries. So they are doing some damage. We're just not looking at it like that. When they're bombing, when they're hitting some buildings in where Dubai or all those places, those people are thinking, what the world is like World War III to them. They're seeing it. So when you're in America, you're not seeing it. When you're in Canada, you're not seeing it just on the internet. But the people who live there, that's why they're saying they want to go after Iran. I just read earlier their response. The people from Qatar, the people from Saudi Arabia, the government or whoever, how they responded, they want to go themselves and maybe give Iran a lesson or two. So the whole conflict is not going to happen in America or happen to America mostly. It's not going to affect America. That's a weapon itself because America is somewhere else away from that fucking place. They can't bring no military to America, really. Who? Who's going to bring anything? The only one who's a threat. Actually, let me take it back. If Iran could do that shit, right? And Russia's not like China could do something. But let's see. Let's see. China is the world's largest import of crude oil, relying heavily on foreign sources to meet over 70% of the consumption. More of not what? With more than 90% imports arriving by sea. Oh, in 2025, China imported a record 11.6 million barrels per day, reflecting both rising demand and strategic stockpiling. The top five suppliers: Russia, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Iraq, and Brazil accounted for roughly 60% of the total imports. Russia alone supplies nearly 2.2 million barrels per day. But where are they getting it from? Benefiting from the discounted euros crude and under Western sanctions, Saudi Arabia and Iraq remain key Middle Eastern partners. Now, I'm seeing Venezuela in there. There's a whole bunch of Iran. So some Iran Iran crude is rebelled through countries like Malaysia and the UAE and Oman. So China to maintain supply from Iran despite geopolitical restrictions. Flared. So China, they might not really care this much about this situation as I do my research. They might not really care too much, China, with this situation. They get oil from them, but they don't depend on the oil like from Iran. They have so much different, they're smart. They have so much different partners where they could go get their oil. So they don't really care. But is it Russia getting their oil from Iran? Who's benefiting from Iran's oil? That's the question. Which countries are benefiting from Iran's oil? Yes, China don't get jack from Venezuela or Saudi loyalists. Yeah. But China was getting something from somebody. They're getting something. I'm seeing all these countries: Brazil, Malaysia, Iraq, Russia. So they do have a whole bunch of countries what's giving them stuff. See, this is what I'm saying. For America to stop, well, America's not going to play with China fully. They're not going to play with them because all these other countries are like working with them, and America works with them. America and China have really they just standoff right now. That's what I'm saying. China's just going to be quiet, man. China's going to be quiet. China's just going to watch for a while. But Russia seems that Putin's talking tough against America right now. Putin doesn't like this. I'll tell you that. Putin. So, like I'm saying, it affects those regions more because America's away from everything. America's away from everything, but they got the military everywhere. So no one's gonna attack America like what people think with a missile, even a nuclear weapon. It's not gonna be attacked like that. It wouldn't happen like that. Even Russia and China know that. Russia and China know that they can't hit America with a military attack, really. That won't happen, right? And people are going to think, why? What do you mean? If you control the satellites, the satellite system, how does a satellite work the military? I could look that up now. I don't know if you want me to break that down. Who controls the how do you work a satellite? A satellite controls a lot of things. So where do they bring these satellites for the military? Isn't it satellites what help the military? Correct me if I'm wrong. And that will answer everything who's the powerfulest nation in the world. So I'm just gonna maybe get down to earth. Little, I don't even need to read this, right? Call it conspiracy. right? America has a space program, so-called space program, for so long. Only two countries been up in so-called space. It's Russia, America. They might say China, but I don't believe that shit. People, please subscribe, bring up the likes. So Russia and America, the only ones to go really to have a space station. They used to call it the International Space Station too. So if you are in space, as they say, all your satellites have to go where? Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't it have to go in space? So nobody's a threat, and people may debate this with me, to America. And maybe Russia. Russia knows some of the secrets too. So no one's a threat, probably only Russia to America. Because you control those satellites, you control everything. Yeah. You control the satellites, you control everything. So all these countries who say they got nuclear weapons and they could do whatever they want and shit like that. No, no, because you had to put a satellite, correct me if I'm wrong, to go into space or somewhere to have your military operate. And who controls that shit? America. So people might debate and say, oh, you got to be scared. But these are computer systems. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are computer systems. Someone programs them. There's something called hackers, right? America has the Bill Gates, for example, one of the top computer geniuses that came out of America and controls, well, he co-founded Viacom. You don't think that they know a lot of shit to shut you down? Don't you see how they work when they go into these countries? They didn't do it with Iran. They done it in a different way, but they usually knock your power out, right? They knock that power out, and then they attack. You have no power, so then your military can't even defend anything, right? So America just will knock all your power out. It's like a knockout, and then they will bomb your ass, and there will be no communication. Your military could do nothing. America been going to space, what they say, space over 50 or what, 60 years, if they want to call it, whatever. 50 years, 50 something years, they've been playing going to space. So bringing satellites up in space. So they see everything. Google Earth. You remember Google Earth? People, bring up the likes, please subscribe. You remember Google Earth? I remember years ago when that shit was like people was playing with that shit. You could see all the way, whatever, a location, and go. You could just go down and see everything there, and that's what they're giving us to play with. Imagine what more they got. These countries, some have technology, but they don't have the technology like America. Maybe China has, and China does have technology too. China does have the technology because, like I said on the other episode, rare earth. Remember, you know what rare earth is? China holds a lot of it. So America has rare earth too, but China knows how to produce that fast. And that's where most of the world gets their this rare earth controls, is responsible for all technology, basically all military, whatever, defense systems, computers, lights, the works. Look up rare earth, look that shit up, and that is what everybody is really fighting over, that shit, that rare earth. They're fighting over, that's the stuff what China is using for the vehicles, the EVs. You see those electric vehicles? That rare earth could produce tons of shit, what you don't have to use no gas. but it makes a lot of pollution. That's the problem with that. When they do that process and production, the problem, it hurts their own country. It's like sacrificing, something. It's not good for the environment. But this rare earth, they've been doing it for years, and that is responsible for your computers, laptops, phones. The list keeps going. Oil is the blood of the world. Never think different. Yeah, it is, but China's not dependent on it. That's the thing. China doesn't depend on it, and everybody in the world. And I'm not just talking about oil. Like I said, Sojo, look up rare earth, what it is. Go look it up. That's why America is angry with Canada, because Canada has a deal to produce and use a lot of that rare earth to make those EVs, the electric cars. And they got a lot of this rare earth, China. They got a lot of it. I don't know if people can't even mine rare earth anything or produce anything. Yeah, it could be oil, but like I never heard oil is used for it. I never heard oil is used for it. It's produced a different way. But anyways, it's used for the military. That's all I know. 100%, they use it for the military. The military needs it, this rare earth stuff. But Trump, China is absolutely dependent on oil. Oh yeah, they have a whole bunch of other countries they have oil from. Not Iran though. I thought Iran was one of the main countries, but it's not necessarily Iran. They have a whole bunch of countries they get oil from, right? I came out of aerospace, Lockheed, missiles, and electronics. I know what rare. Oh, so you know what rare earth is. So you know that they use that a lot for technology, right? And China is the main producer of it. It used to be America. America was a big producer of it, but now it's China. China's been doing it for a long time. And the reason America's smart enough not to really produce too much of it like China is because it's not good for the environment. But you know what? Some people sacrifice certain things to have power. And that's what rare earth does, gives you power. And they probably using it for the military. Modification with the half deck time to move along. Yep. Rare earth is rare metals, yes. But they're using it for right now. If you do some research, they're using it for the EVs, the electrical vehicles. They started their own, you know, they're going to be starting a lot of production with their EV electric cars, especially with Canada. Canada's going to be developing it with China, but that's why Trump doesn't like what China and Canada has been doing, right? But in the Middle East, right now, because he's kind of distracted, even though he's putting out these tariffs, more tariffs, the economic war, now he's doing a other war with the military, which he already done with Venezuela. You got the Venezuela oil. The oil is valuable, but is Russia and China just going to sit down and just make America do whatever they want and not say anything? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Yes, Shadow. Bye bye, Shadow. Bye bye, Shadow. And people, please subscribe. All right. World War III, China, America, and Russia. Revelations. It is in the Revelations. If you believe the Bible, some people don't believe in God though. If you believe the Bible, you believe what's gonna happen in the end. If you don't believe the Bible, which that's okay, there's a lot of people who don't believe in God, it's gonna go a different way. But this is like a script. This is like a script, almost what's going on. It's almost like a script. Probably is, right? Trump was saying this for months, talking about Iran for months. For months, he was talking about Iran, right? And he did say what he was going to do. He did mention what he's going to do. And I don't know if people didn't take him serious, but he did mention what he's going to do. People should have took him serious. I took him serious. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I took Trump serious. A lot of people thought, oh, he's not gonna. He's just talking. No, no, no. He's just occupied with a whole bunch of things. W3, the nerds won't be able to save us. They'll be playing Halo. This is sparking off other things because it doesn't necessarily mean it's just America fighting. World War III, World War II, America wasn't in World War II in the beginning. So it's just, let me say it again. World War II, America wasn't in the war in the beginning till later on. So there's other wars. This is how I've seen it because I'm not just seeing it through what's going on now. I told you, Russia is fighting still with Ukraine. Thousands of people are dying. Bombing's been going on over there, like what you hear about now. People stopped caring about it. You remember when it first was reported? Oh, it's so bad. How Russia, what are they doing? They're killing thousands of Ukrainians. They're doing all this stuff. And then it died out. Remember, they went into a war too. Now it's patterns again, like in the past. This is history repeating itself. America's in a war. Like it or not, they're in a war with Israel, right? So now you got Pakistan. I'm hearing Pakistan is in a war with Afghanistan. No one's talking about that shit. They're in a war, and they took out some supreme, like a supreme leader. They took somebody out from Pakistan, killed a leader in Afghanistan. But people say we don't care about that. But that's Pakistan is a known country with, I think they have a nuclear weapon too. I swear they do, right? And they are fighting with Afghanistan where America was before. So there's other conflicts going on even in Africa. France, right, doesn't like what's going on in Africa, that especially like that guy we're not paying attention to anymore. Ibrahim Traore, right? They wanted to kill him. A whole bunch of assassinations on him. Nothing. France wants to take him out. You get what I'm saying? So that's going on. Remember, Trump sent a missile into Nigeria and blasted those what's called Islamists, right? You think they forgot? You get what I mean? So it's spreading all around the world. Like this is not just two countries gonna be fighting. There's gonna be a whole bunch of conflicts going on, and this one just America kind of spiced it up even more. That's it. They just spiced it up. So that's why I said that Putin was kind of a hypocrite to talk, and he's been killing thousands, thousands of Ukrainians. Netanyahu, whatever the guy from Israel, he's kind of he's been bringing his army out there to kill thousands, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, right? So they've been ramping their shit up. Do you notice in the last 2 3 years, Israel's ramping their stuff up? Like they want to eliminate all the Palestinians. Yo, do you know how much um, Ukrainians died already? Like the ones in the military fighting the Russians? So far, I could tell you the Russian count, there's over 1 million Russian soldiers that have died. That's a lot. Imagine 1 million American soldiers die. That couldn't happen. That would be a big tragedy for America. But Russia already lost 1 million soldiers already, similar to when they were in Afghanistan, right? They lost a whole bunch of soldiers, and he's still pushing them. That Putin guy is basically throwing a lot of them to death, to their deaths. You're in the Russian army and you're getting killed by by the Ukrainian army. But Ukrainians are dying too. So that conflict, America is helping Ukraine. This is why I'm saying World War III. America's been helping Ukraine fight Russia. If you are giving weapons, this is common sense. You don't have to physically be there like that. If as long as you are supplying weapons to one side, you are fighting the other side. And that's what they've done in history with Vietnam. That's what they've done in history with North and South, whatever, South Korea. America has been giving weapons to Ukraine for years, and Canada too. Canada just gave them billions of dollars, or whatever you want to say, to Ukraine to fight Russia. So Canada is supporting Ukraine against Russia. It's just people are not looking on it like that because you're not seeing Canada go over there and they're bombing it themselves. Now you see America themselves bringing themselves physically there and doing the work with Israel, right? But these guys are off. They're fighting. Russia and America is fighting because if they're still supplying the weapons for Ukraine or any money, any type of funding, any type of help, you're fighting. And Russia looks on it like that. Ukraine better grow a pair of and fight for their, but people are supporting them, right? Canada is giving billions of dollars, y'all, billions of dollars to Ukraine. And I swear they bring Canadian soldiers to train Ukraine soldiers and a whole bunch of stuff they've been doing. Like they're using a whole bunch of money supporting Ukraine. So that means they're supporting Ukraine to fight Russia. Canada and Russia don't have a good relationship. I know that for a fact. They don't have a good relationship. If anyone might go to a war more faster than anybody, like one of the whatever, if you want to say civilized countries or whatever, it might not be no America or anything. It could be, I don't even want to even freaking put it out there. I don't know when you want that. It could be Russia and Canada. It could be Russia trying to come to Canada. Maybe this is a fantasy and take over like they're taking over Ukraine, like they want to take over Ukraine, right? So that could be some another conflict. This is what World War is. World War doesn't mean America. America is just a country, but has a military. Um, World War II, they didn't start World War II. America didn't start World War II. America didn't come in to World War II until way after, near the end. So all these countries was fighting. Japan was fighting China. Remember, Japan took over China. Japan took over China. Remember that. That's back in the day. A lot of things was different. So what wars are going on right now? Russia's in a situation. America's in a situation. Israel always been in a situation. There's something cooking up in Africa, right? Something cooking up in Africa. France wants to start a war and shit, possibly. Like they're staying like, no one's thinking of France. You're thinking France. America helped France though. America helped France. So France kind of they can't say anything, France. They can't really say nothing but support America. They should be, right? But everybody's gonna be talking. You're gonna hear other conflicts come up. And so far, the Middle Eastern countries, what got hit by Iran, they want to hit back. They want to hit back. So maybe America will say, no, 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 we'll handle it. Since we're using your bases, we will handle it. But the countries, what Iran have uh, brought missiles to, even though they've been intercepted, they feel that's war, lines for war. So when America leaves, if America leaves, it's gonna leave a big problem. if America leaves the region and doesn't stay there long, what's gonna end up happening is civil war. Civil war. So now they take out the supreme leader, just say they take out all the military. Who's gonna run the country? Are they gonna bring the king back? Or who's gonna run it? That's what people want to know. How is this gonna work? Are they gonna have elections and stuff? Because if you plan, you take out the supreme leader, you take the prime minister out, um, it's a whole new system. Who is going to be the new ruling party, if you call it, of Iran? Because they made sure they put a system in there for years that they control, I guess, their way of life down there. So if they don't go by that now, what type of system are they going to go by? Because they had a system where women, like ladies, maybe not everyone, not everywhere completely, but I'm guessing this is how they put it out there on social media. The women have to cover themselves up. They can't go outside walking without anything covering, I guess, their head and their face and stuff like that. So, will that, if they just say get rid of that now, are they gonna is that gonna change? Are they gonna get rid of that? If people don't want to, if they want the freedom to just go out, they could do anything they want and not wear like the woman. Is that gonna change? It's gonna be interesting to see if that changes. Because that was the Ayatollah, the supreme leader, right? He's the one who pushed that, and that became norm for a long time. Not saying it was forever, but it was the norm from probably what 1979 and on. So over almost 47 years, right? Especially if you're young, that's all you've seen. You've seen how the system was, but will it change? Most likely, I think civil war is going to happen. Civil war is going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Civil right, they will never honor for the woman. So yeah, that's why I'm wondering, like, is it going to change? Them taking over or whatever, bombing, taking out whatever the supreme leader and the military and all of that. Is that going to change like the way how they live? That's what the world is thinking. It's going to change the way they live. That's the whole reason. One of the reasons they say they're going there too. They're saying this man is evil. This is how they put it. The reason they went there. This is why they say they're making nuclear weapons, or they're trying to develop nuclear weapons. And because how he treats his people, how he's evil, and how the system been oppressing or killing people on in the eyes of the Western world unlawfully. So that's why they went there, because he's an evil man, and the Revolutionary Guard is evil, and they need to be taken out. So it's that and the threat that they're trying to develop nuclear weapons so they have a defense. That is what they're telling us. They had to go there to knock him out because this guy cannot have nuclear weapons close to Israel. And that's why Israel is part of the operation. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. That's why Israel is part of the operation. Really, because it benefits themselves. It benefits them, right? So America's saying you have to come in with us. We're not doing it by ourselves. If you want us to take this guy out fully, you're gonna have to come and help us, right? But I think America, once again, in a way, and maybe this might be controversial, got tricked into this war. You get what I'm saying? I think America got tricked into this war. They didn't have to hit nobody. Israel could have done that themselves. You get what I'm saying? Israel could have done that themselves, but they want to show the world with Donald Trump, right, that America is fully with them. So by taking out Iran, it's gonna make them more stronger in the region, people. It's now gonna make them more, um, a threat. Israel is now gonna be. They don't have to worry about Iran because that's who they are blaming forever. They're blaming Iran for everything, right? It's also invading the center of the Muslim world. Well, they don't care. They don't care right now, right? But the way how they done it symbolically, Ramadan, right? Ramadan and all them stuff is kind of, that's like disrespectful. But where does this? When will this end? Do you think it's gonna end? No, it's not gonna end. Trump is using this all the way until he's finished being a president. Have money for war. They don't have. Yes, Sasimo. Yes, 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 yes. Bless up for the people in the chat. Black Wolf, you're out. You be clown. 30 minutes. I won't even read your thing because you gotta pay. If you want your comments to be highlighted, bad or good, you could donate to the platform, right? Down to Earth Network on all podcast platforms, right? And we got the Patreon right now. But yes, World War III, this is in Revelations. That's all I got to say. If you look up the Bible, I could look it up for you. And it gets scary. Some people don't believe in God, right? So they will just look past that. Some people believe in science. So we could say America's the great, powerfulest one, and no one could ever beat them. But if you believe in God, you might be scared of what's going on. If you believe in that type of God, I'm talking Jesus Christ type of God, how they would say it. Bless up to everybody in the chat. All right, Israel is nothing without U.S. Yeah, this helps our international shipping routes. Yes, I heard about something. They had a real important part. Iran, what's very important for a lot of you know countries to work with. They have a real important part. So, and people, please subscribe. Bring up the likes if you can. Stop saying that. Yes, it's World War III. It's been World War III from 2001. You think I'm talking about just what's going on now? It's been World War III from 2001, from 9/11 when the buildings dropped down. It was World War III. That was the plan from a long time ago. This is just um, more. This is just igniting it with Trump, right? From Bush, right? Obama, Trump, and this guy Biden was just a breaking him back again, right? So this is World War III. It started with the World Trade Centers. Economic war first. Economic war was going on for 20, you'd say 25 years. Economic war was going on more than ever. Planes, don't forget, a lot of the industries got killed because of 9/11. A lot of things changed because of 9/11. The gas and oil was going up because of 9/11. 9/11 with Iraq and Afghanistan is no coincidence that they're in Iran. This is all from 19 whatever, even the 70s stuff. He brought it up. Trump's the one who brought this up. He brought up 1979. He brought up 1982. It's basically telling people Americans have never forgotten. They have never. He's bringing up his feelings, like he was already the president from those times. So What's going on is the continuation of this World War III. World War III doesn't mean that it just happens like that. World War II didn't just happen like that. It was a buildup from the 30s. Hitler was around before 1940. Hitler was doing his thing from the 30s, early 30s, building up. They were building up, doing all types of stuff when they're influencing other countries, and then they took some of them over, right? So you get what I'm saying? They even had Nazis in New York. I seen documentaries. There's Nazis in America. The Germans from in Germany was influencing Americans, if they even are German background, but they were in America. I seen that shit, right? So world wars don't just start just like that. It's a buildup, and it's been building up for 25 years, right? And it was starting through the economics, and China was winning it. You know how much years I used to hear China owns all this property in America? How much years did I hear Saudi Arabia owns this in America? I remember there was like a joke. I was saying, what are people talking about? Why are people saying that America doesn't even own their own shit? That America is in debt? Like I was saying, how could that be? The Hollywood, the land of the free, be in that who's so powerful that people they allow foreign governments to own real estate a lot in America, more than America. So 9/11 and on. This is going to get bigger. Can't run from it. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. So when I say World War III, it goes hand in hand with the NWO. The NWO, New World Order, was already mentioned in the recent world conferences and meetings. And it didn't come from Donald Trump. The message doesn't have to come from America all the time. It doesn't have to be just America. It's the world. So you have to look on other fronts, other situations. And Mr. Carney from Canada, when he was in the meeting with China and talking, and he mentioned more than one time New World Order, you would think it's a movie that a politician is actually, if you understand the language too, how he was talking, is talking New World Order and talking about how America is basically bullying everybody to be under them, right? Carney was illustrating to the world, and this is when he made the visit to China, that how we cannot make this guy use the power of America to try to bully the whole entire world. So in return, we need, as the world, to unite against this guy, Donald Trump. Because if we don't, he will start all this shit what you're seeing right now. Yeah. So Carney went around doing his campaign when Mr. Donald Trump was saying 51st state. When Donald Trump was going to Greenland saying he wants to take them over, right? All that was a show for Iran and for the world to see how he is, his attitude, and the energy which he brought to Venezuela. He's showing examples that I will take over the world. What is that? And then even Cuba. What does that show you? What he's trying to do. He's going saying he'll go anywhere in the world if he feels like it. That's new, and he's new world order, 100%. But there's other orders too. The order of excluding America. There's the other orders, the economic order, But that's why he's putting down terrorists, Mr. Trump, and bringing up terrorists a lot, thinking it's going to punish the world. But I've been saying it's really punishing America. Because when he put tariffs or tried to put tariffs on Canada, it wasn't affecting the people. The tariffs doesn't affect Canada what America was putting down. It was natural resources where he was putting tariffs on. People are still eating, no one's starving like Cuba. But I'm hearing in America, people can't afford their groceries. Yeah, yeah, Trump. He used the need to learn mind our business and help home. Yep, he is suing the U.S. and RRS. He doesn't care about anyone. Yes, so now what's going on? I'm hearing a lot of companies are suing America because of the tariffs. Big companies are suing all because of him. Now, the other day hurt him a lot. That's why we're in this situation now. I seen this coming. The other day, when the Supreme Court basically embarrassed him, you could see that he was angry. He was mad that they went against what he put out. So you know what he did? I'm putting out 10% more on everybody. And then he got even more angry. He said, no, I'm bringing it up to 15% to everybody. I'm going to give tariffs to every country, not knowing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, who is giving him advice? Like, I wonder who is who does he have who's giving him some of this advice, because it's not working. It's not working. Like, I never heard so far that any of the tariffs he put out is hurting any country. Really, I never heard. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. The devil and the voice in his head. Miss Miss I'm trying to pronounce her name, Miss Zach or Zarks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are definitely living in the book of Revelations. You're right. I was going to read this now that you reminded me. Revelations and war. The relationship between revolution. No, I don't want to put revolution. I'll put revelations, because I used to read the Bible a lot in my younger ages. But let's get Revelations and war. It's kind of scary. Some people don't have to believe it because they don't believe in God or Jesus. There's people like that, right? Why does it keep going to revolution? Keeps going to revolution, right? Let's go. Existing political origin. I don't want to put that. People, please subscribe. Trump's already read Revelations. You know, you're probably right. Yeah, he's always talking about God, right? He's talking about God. He's like a preacher when he's up there. I think that's what he likes, man. That's what he likes, right? Okay, now the book of Revelations. This one we want to go to, and this is for the whole world, right? The whole world. The book of Revelation is also known as the book as of the Apocalypse, or the Apocalypse of John, is chronically the last book of the Testament written in Greek. Its titles is derived from the first word, the text, apocalypse, right? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let me go through it. The book spans three little genres. Okay, let's get to it. I'm skipping through all of that, going to where it's telling you the so-called story. Let's see. Okay. Revelations and Apocalypse are respectively a translation and Anglo-Saxon of the original Koine Greek. Right, okay, whatever, blah blah, English. Okay. Why they put a lot of bullshit in this? See, that's why I don't believe in everything I read, even in the Bible. They have fixed a lot of shit, right? Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Okay, it's what Christians skip through that. Let's see. Why it's like you're scared to read it, like you're scared to really. Okay, now I got to it, people. The revelation of Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the revel. I know about that. I know about that. Let's put the revelations of the end of Revelations. There's a lot of revelations because it's the book, right? The book of Revelations presents war as a significant theme symbolizing the ultimate conflict between good and evil, with prophetic messages that resonate with both historical and contemporary events. Let's go through this because, people who believe in the Bible or, Jesus Christ, they may be talking that these are the end of days. That's what you see a lot, right? Prophetic imagery. The book of Revelations is rich in symbolic language and vivid imagery, depicting various forms of conflict, including wars on earth and in heaven. For instance, Revelation 12 describes a war in heaven where Michael and his angels battle against the dragon Satan and his forces, illustrating the cosmic struggle between good and evil. Two, the role of Israel. Many interpretations of the revelation highlight the significance of Israel in the context of war. The text often connects Israel's fate with global events, suggesting that the wars involving Israel are pivotal in fulfilling the divine prophecy. This connection emphasizes the theological implications of these conflicts and their relevance to the believers. Okay, so that's Israel, right? And they're in the Middle East right now doing their thing. Three, divine sovereignty and judgment. Revelation emphasizes God controls over chaos, the chaos of war. It reassures believers that despite the turmoil, God will ultimately bring justice and establish his kingdom. Who is the kingdom? Right? The narrative encourages believers to remain steadfast in their faith, knowing victory is assured through Christ. Does everybody believe that? No, right? Spiritual warfare. The concept of war in Revelation extends beyond physical battles to include spiritual warfare. Believers are called to resist temptations and deceptions and recognizing that their struggle is not merely against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. Five, hope. Amidst conflict, despite the grime depictions of war and tribulations, Revelations ultimately conveys with a message of hope. It assures believers that God will triumph over evil and that the faithful will be rewarded. This hope is encapsulated in the promise of a new heaven and a new earth where peace prevails. So that what they're trying to say, everybody's going to kill themselves, right? In Revelations, they're saying everybody's just going to kill themselves. That's what it sounds like, right? The book of Revelation serves as both warning and the source of hope regarding the nature of war. It invites readers to reflect on the spiritual dimensions of conflict and the assurance of God's ultimate victory over evil. So this is where I'm going to break it down to. Because we know that the Bible comes from the Torah. Let me say it over again. And I'm going to bring it back for you guys. Please like, subscribe, support the platform. So, you heard a little bit what I'm saying. If you know about the Bible and Revelations, this is what it is now. It's basically saying that, and let me read this over because I'm going to connect this with what was earlier read. The book of Revelation serves as both warning and a source of hope regarding the nature of war. It invites readers to reflect on spiritual dimensions of conflict and assurance of God's ultimate victory over evil. That's where I'm just going to stop, right? So it's giving you an instruction, and this instruction comes from the Torah, aka Jewish, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So when I was reading about the role of Israel, many interpretations of Revelations highlight the significance of Israel in the context of war. The text often connects Israel's faith with global events, suggesting that the wars involving Israel are pivotal in fulfilling divine prophecy. This connection emphasizes the theological implications of these conflicts and their relevance to the believers. So, this is all written for them. This is all written. All of this is supposed to happen. It's not just a war. It's not just them doing what you think they're doing. They're actually this comes from the Torah before the Bible. It just got translated to the Bible, Hebrew scriptures, right, into Greek, Latin, whatever you want to call it. But Israel, if I look up Israel, I guarantee a lot of things are connected to what's going on now. Faith is not a place to live in action, but you choose to help. Yeah, you're right. Yes, this is what's going on. There's a showdown. What's supposed to be going down? A big showdown. And I guarantee we're going to see the stories on social media. It's going to be, people are going to talk about Revelations as I'm talking about now. And they're going to bring up Israel because Israel is in it. It's not like it's America by themselves. Remember that. It's not like it's America by themselves, people. It's Israel that helped with this whole operation, taking out the supreme leader, and now they're still going to be bombing them for weeks and days, if not months. People, support the platform. Please subscribe. Bring up the likes if you can. So I could look up Revelations, and it might be very scary for you guys because this was just the intro, right? If I put Israel and the Revelations, it's going to bring up a lot of things, right? I think they believe this is a mission they have to do. This is a mission Israel has to do, and that's why they brought America in it. It's them who brought America in it, right? That's what's going on. They brought America in this situation. So I believe Trump thinks he's doing God's work because he's always referencing God, right? So remember, his daughter is married to a Jewish man. So she's Jewish. And he's always referencing God. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. He's always referencing God, right? So let's see. It's gonna be scary, man, for a lot of people, especially the people who are seeing the bombs right now. It's scary for them. Very scary. I wish people would talk about peace for the future. No, America doesn't know how to mind our business. Yes, much respect, Albert Manzo. Now it says, what does the Bible say about Israel in Revelations? Interesting. You guys want to know? Bring up the likes if you can. Super chat. Still new to this. With the super chat, your comments will be highlighted, right? What does the Bible say about Israel in Revelations 31 verses? Explain. The Bible book is okay. I don't want to go. I want to know what it's saying. What does the Bible say about Israel in Revelations? Okay, what does it say? They're smart. They want me to subscribe to this. Hell no, not doing that. Let's see. The gates representing the 12 tribes remind us of our connection to God's promise through Israel. Each tribe holds its unique historical and spiritual significance, and their names on the gates serve as the reminder of God's faithfulness to his covenant. Okay, I'm not going to go all through it. I'm going to where things are really going down with Israel, right? So this is what it's saying. People, please subscribe. Bring up the likes if you can. Israel's redemption. As we study Revelations, we see particular. Okay, no. I don't want to see that. No. I want to get the real deal. Let me go more detail. All I know, they're going by script. 100%, they're going by script. They're going by script. They already took out Gaza or whatever. They took out a lot the Palestinians, the Palestinian them, right? Do you know that the president of Israel, he's a war criminal? That's another thing. Sorry to say, I know America's working with Israel, but correct me if I'm wrong, and you guys could look it up. I swear I heard that the president of Israel is a war criminal. He's on that list, and I don't know why he's not arrested, but he's doing this, right? Let me see something. Because do you guys support a war criminal doing this with America, or it doesn't matter? Do you guys support Israel, what they have done in the last whatever 2 years or so, maybe more, with in regards to the Palestinian people? They show no mercy. I'm much respect. War criminal is a Muslim propaganda. Is Muslim propaganda. I'm talking about the world, right? I think he was. I'm gonna just look it up. He was, right? People, please subscribe. Support the platform. Yep. It's Israel. They do what they do, and we do what. Okay, yeah. It's not. I'm talking about Israel. Internet. Okay. Yeah, but Trump. A lot of people think Trump is guilty of doing things too. Remember, you know what? Sorry to say, Trump had 34 charges, and he that it did nothing happened to him. So he should have suffered something. Like he should have had something happen to. He should have had to pay up some money or go to jail, right? He says International Criminal Court arrest warrants for Israeli leader. See, on the 25th, the 21st of November 2024, following an investigation of war crimes and crimes against humanity, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for two senior Israeli officials, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. Okay, I'm not going to look over that now. I'm not looking over that now. Now, if this man's a war criminal, that means America doesn't care. They're willing to work with a war criminal. Sorry, sorry. That's what how it shows. So America will work with a war criminal because they don't respect the international courts, Mr. Trump. Not to be confused with South Africa's genocide case against Israel or the trial of Benjamin Netanyahu. On November 21st, 2024, following an investigation of war crimes and crimes against humanity, the International Criminal Court, ICC, issued arrest warrants for two senior Israel officials, Benjamin Netanyahu and the Prime Minister of Israel, and no one's in jail. Okay. And Yoav Gallant, the former Minister of Defense of Israel, alleging responsibility for the war crimes of starvation as a method of warfare and the crimes against humanity of murder and prosecution and other inhumane acts during the Gaza war. The warrant against Netanyahu is the first against the leader of a Western-backed democratic country for war crimes. So that's why there's the distractions, and that's they're hoping nobody will do their research. I've heard of this a long time ago, and there is no excuse. I don't give a damn. This man should have been locked up. And why is there favoritism? Right? Why is there favoritism? This man's a war criminal, and America's working with him, and they go to Venezuela and lock up that guy and bring him all the way to America, but they can't get Netanyahu and this other guy because guess what? They don't respect the world court, or Trump doesn't respect the world court. So Netanyahu is a war criminal. Sorry to say, they're working with a guy who people have a warrant for. So that shows you Trump doesn't recognize that. The ICC was established in 2002 to prosecute war crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide, and crimes of aggression. When member states are unwilling and unable to do so, it can also prosecute crimes committed by nationals or territory of any of its 124 member states. So Netanyahu is a criminal, and America's working with him. That's why I'm saying World War III. World War III. A whole bunch of shit is going on, and people don't even know what's going on. Like I said, Afghanistan is fighting with Pakistan, I'm hearing, right? Uh, Russia's still fighting with Ukraine. No one cares about that. No one's seen what's going on with that. They're still bombing Ukraine, killing tons of Ukrainians. That's going on, and more. They're in Venezuela. We don't know what America's doing in Venezuela. Um, it seems like the same tactic Israel was doing, right? Starving out the population there is what America's doing to Cuba. America's doing that to Cuba, starving them out. I don't know if you haven't heard that a lot of people been starving because America been blocking things from going there. Recently, Canada stepped in and saying they're going to provide a whole bunch of food for Cubans. Let me say that again. Recently, Canada stepped in and saying they're going to go there to provide food for the Cubans. But America's the ones who've been stopping the food from going to Cuba, right? Fighting back is not genocide. Okay. I never said it was a genocide. They said it wasn't a genocide. It says not to be confused with South Africa's genocide. They never said it was a genocide. They call it something else. Either way, he's a war criminal. Doesn't change anything. He's a war criminal, no different than the supreme leader. That's where the hypocrisy comes. No different than the supreme leader. Because I heard not just the people who's been fighting with the Israelis historically, when other people been, I heard stories of when the Ethiopian Jews went to Israel, how they were treated. They were treated so bad that a lot of them committed suicide, right? And I'm hearing other stories too. There's a lot of, it's not good. But this is, like I said, another distraction from the Epstein files. Because don't you notice, and I'm going to remind you people, they're not getting away with it. The other day, Clinton had his trial. And then this happens. I don't even know what the hell that man was saying, really. You don't really even know what he was asked of that. So, perfect. Perfect, Trump. Trump done a good job. He's kind of protecting Bill Clinton, right? Because Bill Clinton cleared Trump's name. Bill Clinton said, yo, Trump was never, I don't know anything of Trump being involved with the Epstein stuff. So I know Trump, he liked that. So guess what? Let's attack finally right now, because both of the Clintons, they already done their thing. I was waiting for them to talk and testify. So now let's go. Right? Yes, be out of it, because everything is a conspiracy. You're talking about aliens. If you believe in Trump, if you are a supporter of Trump, D-Man or whatever your name is, he's the one who was bringing up alien talk and UFOs. And if you're American, your own government's bringing up conspiracies. He's talking about that. Why? Why is he bringing up alien shit? Because Obama brought up alien stuff. Didn't you guys hear the other day what Hillary Clinton said was ridiculous when they were questioning her? Saying they asked her about UFOs. They asked her about UFOs. So America is promoting now The so-called conspiracy, what they used to think people are crazy to believe. Now all of a sudden, aliens are real, and people are asking the government, including Mr. Trump, talking about, oh, I'm gonna release the files from the Pentagon about UFOs. Everybody, that's all you see posted. A lot you see posted on Instagram. Oh, Trump's gonna release the files for the UFOs. Big distraction. And now you don't. I have to admit, I done an episode on Clinton. I said I knew this would happen. I said, what's going on with the Epstein files? All of a sudden, something's gonna come up to distract people. And look what happened. Let's see if people are gonna continue to talk about the Epstein files in the next week. You're not gonna hear nothing. Hillary is a hobbit who just trolls the earth with no point in her life. Right now, yo, I don't know if you guys saw it, man. They look bad. That's why this war has to really overshadow it. Both of them look guilty, straight up. They did not do a good job trying to convince people that they did not know Epstein. What do you guys think? Like a basketball game, right? Or any type of sport. You're trying to win, but you lose. When they went for that deposition, they didn't win that. They didn't win that. They lost because she basically threw her husband under the bus. She don't look like she even with that guy, right? The pee in the clothes say it's raining. Both guilty as yes. See, it's not just me who saw that. When I was watching that, you could just man, that's embarrassing. Like, of course they need. If I was Trump, I'd say like if I was maybe not just necessarily Trump, but the Republican, the Democrats who were trying to kick Trump out or make him look crazy in a way, they would say, you know what, shit, you know what, let's make this guy actually. I hope he actually goes to war because yo, Hillary and Bill embarrassed us as Democrats. Damn, like she basically lied to people. Perjury. Did you hear what she was saying? How she tried to say she had never met Epstein, but she knows Epstein's girlfriend from being an acquaintance. But then she talked about the wedding that she didn't know whatever Maxwell, right? Didn't know Maxwell only because somebody invited Maxwell. I don't know. That shit's that's crazy. All I'm gonna say is this war is the perfect distraction from everything, especially the ice. I have to remind you because, like I was saying, why I called it the World War III with Donald Trump. Donald Trump already raised the war in America first with the ice in Minnesota, putting those guys out and giving them more power. If you guys don't know, now ICE basically has the freedom. Well, basically, if you're American, you have no freedom anymore. They have given them power to do some big surveillance on all Americans and hire special agencies. They have gave them extra money to hire agencies to spy on Americans more than ever, right? Because ever since that stuff happened in Minnesota and two people were unalive and they were Caucasian, they said, yes, we got to stop. Let's just close this up, make it look like we're gone now. And the ICE now is going to go to another place and start their shit to the American population, right? So that is what's going on. So meanwhile, people are looking, oh, what's going on in the Middle East with the war there. Trump already started a war in America. He started a war in America and he's going after all. This is what he was saying. I'm going after all the undocumented people who are illegal in America, right? He's going after the people who are not really American and they're illegally in America and they could be dangerous. I don't know if he reminded you guys that he's saying some of these people are dangerous people, very dangerous. So, is it possible that your own enemy who you're attacking right now could be in America? Because you're saying that these people are dangerous and they're undocumented people. And you're in a war right now in the Middle East, right? So don't think it's just these Mexicans. Don't think it's just these Somalis. There's others. That's the stereotype. I guarantee there's a lot of Iranians in America, certain places. I guarantee not all of them. There might be some still loyal to what's called the supreme leader. I've seen it in UK. They have people who are still loyal to these extremists. So now the ice is out. America is in its own turmoil. What's going on? You got these guys policing you, and now they have more power over the average citizen. They got a license to spy. Ever since people were saying that they have to wear body cams because of what the shootings, what happened, they were saying, oh, you're going to force us now to be watched. Oh, okay. So since you guys want that, we're going to go technology style and we're going to watch all of you from afar so we don't get caught up in that politics that we just went after you. We're going to really monitor you. And that's why TikTok has changed its rules and updates that basically you have to give up everything about yourself to be on that platform. Right? So this World War III is happening internally. This World War III is happening internally. You see what I'm saying? It's happening. Um, do you know how much illegal, what he calls Trump, illegal aliens are in America? Do you know how much undocumented or what they're saying? They're saying there's millions. They only uh they only deported a couple thousand. They're saying there's millions. So who are these millions? This is a question I'm asking, especially the American people. Who are these millions of undocumented people in America? Are they all from Mexico? Let me know. Are they just Mexicans or people from South America, or is it people from all around the world? Right? MAGA's back in business. Make America great again. Listen, MAGA is going after American citizens too. MAGA is not just going after people who are not from America. It's going after American citizens too, if you believe in the ICE, right? So World War III, like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have to be just America. It's all these countries all of a sudden in conflicts in the world. So this was North Korea is watching this. Right now, that guy in North Korea, he's watching this. A lot of people are watching this. They're saying, shit, America took out Gaddafi. America took out bin Laden. America took out the supreme leader. America took out the guy from Nicolas Maduro. America been taking out cartels. You know what? I better sit my ass down. I better sit my ass down. But there's going to be some people who want to stand up to America. That's going to happen. Some people might do it a different way, right? Do it in a different way. So Mr. Trump is doing the economic war too. He's hitting all of the world with tariffs. What do you think that is? That's the new age, money, right? Digital money. Him doing tariffs is a war on the whole entire world. That's economic war. It's not being friendly putting tariffs on people. It's not helping other countries putting tariffs. No, that's economic war. And putting sanctions on countries which probably do deserve it, that is economic too. You can't be illegal. So you're saying if you were stolen from your country, you can't be illegal. What do you're talking about the spat? You're talking about the Spanish, the Mexicans, right? All I know is there's people, what Trump been saying, I heard him say this, that are dangerous people who they have deported who are illegal in America. So who are these people who are so dangerous? What they don't tell everybody about? Who are they? Right? They can come get rump ASSP where we as citizens would be happy. I don't care who's watching. The truth is the truth. Yeah, but there's a lot. See, there's a split because there's a lot of people who love Trump. There's some of the supporters are in the chat, right? And then there's the people who don't like Trump, like you, right? Because you've seen the split already in America. You've seen people talk against Trump a lot, but now a lot of people are quiet. I've been saying this a lot. A lot of people are quiet. A lot of the people are quiet more than ever in America. I'm talking about the celebrities. There's one, two celebrities talking, but I don't blame them because he gave an example by getting that guy arrested, Don Lemon, right? He's gave examples out there already. So right now, besides what America is doing, other countries are doing things too. They're having their little disputes, but it's not as big as this one. This one is not going to go away. He already said, he mentioned all week bombing. Trump is saying all week the bombing is going to be going on until they give up, right? So, will any other country step in? That's the thing. Do you think China is going to step in? Do you think Russia is going to step in? So far, the UK is there. Yes, there's no choice in being stolen. Yes. Ain't nobody stolen where you stolen from. Oh, Lee. Isn't America stolen though? To be fair, isn't America stolen, or did everybody just appear there? Who was in America first? Was in America stolen? Who discovered America? Who colonized America? Wasn't it England, UK? Didn't UK colonize America? That's the reason we're speaking English because of the UK. So America is stolen, conquered because they're weak. They didn't defend it. Yeah, they didn't defend it because they had all these other colonies. They probably said, America, let's give it to them. You know what? We got Australia, we got a lot of Africa, we got Canada, we got the Caribbean and some other places too, right? So they probably said those guys are rebels. Let's leave them to keep that piece of land, right? And why I studied, this is why America is deadly in regards to especially the slavery. The people who fought against the English or the whatever United Kingdom, the ones who broke off were the rebellious ones who were linked mostly Irish back the Irish who was rebelling against the whatever you know how there's Protestant and Catholic and shit. So I'm thinking the Queen and them, I don't think they're Catholic, I think they're Protestant. Correct me if I'm wrong. They always treated the Irish bad. They always treated them bad. So the people who took over America weren't like the ones who they threw in America, the Europeans who they threw in America, were like criminals. That's where I'm getting to. There are people who are locked. They were like, they brought people who are like deadly, vicious. And that's how they killed all those natives, right? All those natives. Because these men were vicious, no mercy. That's why in history, and they are the ones who made the history books, thousands of natives were murdered because of who was running America. and who was running America was left behind from the United Kingdom was some vicious, deadly individuals, right? Vicious, deadly individuals, because those ones was doing the slavery too. UK stopped doing the slavery at a certain time, and they were doing the slavery, right? They continued the slavery. Think of it. UK stopped, England and America continued doing the slavery because those ones, they had no mercy. No mercy. They're the most deadliest, evilest ones. So, much respect to everyone. No one is perfect. No country is perfect. Everybody has some dirt. But America is not innocent. 100%. Not innocent. And for sure, America is in the Revelations and Judgment Day if you believe in the Bible, right? Because don't want to get too spiritual, but a lot of stuff what's going on in the world, like in Canada, in America, and the stuff what's going on is in the Bible. You get what I'm saying? A lot of stuff is in the Bible. And people, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, right? So, World War III already started through economic war 25 years ago when the World Trade Centers fell, or what they said happened, but went down. That's when it all started. Because if you look from that time, there was a whole bunch of conflicts going on. A whole bunch of conflicts was going on in the world right after that time, more than ever, right? And America was in it again, in the spotlight again. They went to Iraq, well, Afghanistan. They went to Iraq, right? And they were there for years. Don't forget, after they blasted them out, it got Saddam, and they were there for years and years and years up until recently, right? And then they're on now another front. Here, they're back again. So when America thought they were taking all these soldiers out of Iraq or the Middle East to come back home, they're right. They never left. They never left. That's what I'm saying. They never left. So the war was always going on. Even Trump was telling people that recently, yesterday, he was saying that the whole time America's been in the Middle East, not just those bases, but in Iraq, that Iran was hitting places wherever they were, wherever the American military was in Iraq from day one. They never stopped fighting something. It wasn't intense, but America always had to defend themselves in the Middle East since 2001. It never stopped. In the 2000s, the FBI said that there was up to 2.8 million slaves on the west coast of America. Let me read that again, Lauren Diamond. In the 2000s, you're saying the FBI said there was up to 2.8 million slaves on the west coast of America. Are you talking about the Mexicans? Because if you're talking about West Coast, you're talking about Cali and shit, right? These evil trolls are just waiting to do something to the God praying nations. I think some of these people don't even believe in God. You get what I mean? Some of them don't believe in God. A lot of these people don't believe in God. Did you know? I'm sorry to say, did you know? Because I read about President Netanyahu, whatever the. Did you know that the biggest population of atheists? I don't know if it changed. The biggest population of atheists are from Israel. Did you know that? I was surprised when I heard that years ago. Right? The biggest. Okay, you guys could do your research too. Look it up. Where, and isn't it funny? The Holy Land has the most atheists. Who are the atheists? Most don't believe in God. So who are the atheists? Where are they? Right? Where are the most That's what I heard. I don't know if it's just like it's been a long time since I looked it up. Yeah, they are money hungry. Yeah. China, of course. Yes. So they're saying China, Japan, Sweden lead the significant atheist population. Countries such as UK, Belgium, and Australia also show increasing trends in atheism, driven by modernization, scientific thinking, and focus of personal freedoms. But I swear I've seen that it might have changed. This was years ago. But either way, it's the Holy Land, right? It's the Holy Land. And just recently, they attacked on the spiritual day of Ramadan. They attacked on the spiritual day of Ramadan, right? The list of countries by religion. Let's see if I got that list. Hmm. Which, so I know they're on it somewhere. I've seen it. Could have changed throughout the years. Oh, I have the maps right here. Estonia, where do they fall? The maps right here. People, please subscribe, support the platform, right? Like, comment, all that good stuff. Yes, World War III has been going on from 2001, when the World Trade Centers fell to the ground in New York, right? It started then. And it's funny that these Epstein files and all this shit, what people are talking about, is kind of even linked to all of this. You want me to go down that rabbit hole? It's linked to all of this because in the files, Epstein talks about a lot of stuff what has to deal with the Middle East, and a lot of stuff that has to deal with conflicts, and how he supports Israel against the these these people, right? It is World War III. It's been going on from 2025 years. It's not now. World War III been going on from 2001. Economically, in different stages. It's been going on, right? Everybody thought 2000 would be Y2K. You remember that? You remember everybody thought 2001 everything would shut off. Don't you remember that? So it wasn't 2000, and they thought Jesus was going to come. You remember that? People thought Jesus was going to come back after 2,000 years, the year 2000, and everything's going to Y2K. You guys remember that? So when I'm saying it, everybody has their opinion, but I believe, and I know a lot believe, World War III started when those two towers dropped down in New York. Everything changed. Economics changed. People are scared to fly the plane. And you remember they were talking about these cells where Americans were scared up to walk around and wondering who might be a cell and which building might have somebody in there who might blow it up, or a plane, whatever plane you go on, somebody might blow it up. What happened to all those cells? Did they find all these cells? Like, who would be going after these cells now? This is kind of not saying funny, but who would be going after these cells now? Whose job would it be to go after these terrorist cells? It would be the ICE, the same ICE people are despising. That was their job. And ICE was created right after 9/11. Check that out. ICE was created right after 9/11. A whole bunch of government organizations came together and they formed ICE, right? And ICE is actually not just in America. They have offices all around the world. So ICE is really an international organization also, but birthed in America. So if you're a criminal, if you're somebody who's wanted, for example, from another country, and you come to America, this is what Trump's talking about. You could be somebody dangerous, what no American has no idea about, coming from Russia or China, places like that, or the Middle East, and they live in America. And no one knows who these people are because they're not famous. The only person who knows who they are is the governments from overseas, and when they report that to America, and then America goes after those individuals. You ever thought of that, people? The same way a dangerous American who's does things could go to a other country and you have no idea who this person is, right? And they do shit there too. That's what I'm telling you, right? So these cells, what happened to these cells? And I was gonna give you guys this. The cells are the one how people would fight their war now. No one is gonna be. Don't think of just bombs, like that. The best way to attack is internally, right? So, like, for example, spies, people who are spies. Do people forget about spies? Do people, did they forget that countries could send people as spies? They could bring them as students, young people who are going to schools and universities. Did people forget about that? And then all they have to do is put a, they could do the same thing like how shooters are shooting up schools, right? Like how American citizens have gone to schools and shoot up 30 people and stuff. So I said it earlier. Imagine you have somebody who's military more trained and knows to use chemicals and is in America, and you would never know who they are. You would never know that they're from this country or that country because they don't have to look stereotypically what you think. So that's how a war is going to happen down the line. Down the line, that's how it's going to happen. You just haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen it yet play out. It's been played out in Russia forever. People forget this because I always been watching the news growing up. I remember hearing about Chechen people, rebels, and explosions all over civilized Russian cities. Explosions in subways, explosions in the streets, explosions in buildings. Russia, because Russia put themselves in a lot of wars. Russia put themselves in a lot of situations to go to countries like how you see America doing. They put themselves in a lot of stuff. So especially in the, I think was what, the 90s. I remember seeing stuff like yo, up until the 2000s, terrorists blowing up places in Russia. But now you don't hear about that anymore. That America's lucky that hasn't came yet. They stop all of that shit. But imagine if that was to happen. Imagine if somebody, a couple of these cells were to get through. Imagine if that was to happen. That's only in the movies. That's only in the movies. I'm not saying it can't happen, but that's only in the movies, and that's why ICE is making sure they have a super surveillance over America. And I found out that the TikTok company, which almost 200 million Americans use, it went down in usership, but I learned that it's an Israeli company, somebody from Israel, who owns that Orion, the Oracle company. So Israel has a big. That's the company what owns TikTok. I thought it was an American company. See, I'm giving you that. I thought TikTok was American. America took it over from China. Let me correct myself. They bullied the Chinese owner to give up majority of, I guess, the company to them, and it's supposed to be American company, Orion. But I'm hearing it's Israel. So Israel is good at spying on uh, people. They have one of the best. I guess they're one of the best in spying. They have the best spy technology. You could look it up. People accuse Israel and America being the same thing. That's a other conspiracy. Is it a conspiracy? Is it a conspiracy, people? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Sleeper cells ready. Yes, sleeper cells been around for a long time. They will stay around for a long time, and maybe a lot of these sleeper cells could come as young people, like come as 18-year-olds, and maybe they're all like right now 36. You get what I'm saying? They could be like 36, maybe 40 right now. When they came to America, that's how they do it. These sleeper cells don't have to be doing nothing now. They could have been in America for 16, 17 years, going to school, working, and everything, right? That's why there was, Islamic schools were been targeted in America, in the UK. That's why there is evidence of people from America and Canada and the UK who converted, and they convert to Islam, and then they do all these things and they're wanted. I remember people are not highlighting these people. I remember there's a whole bunch of people who are from these countries who got converted and after started to do some crazy stuff overseas. And then a couple of them America has arrested. They have captured a couple of them. And some of them are American themselves, right? Yes, some of them are American themselves. A lot came from Canada, a lot comes from America, and it's like vice versa. It's like a mixture. I don't know what happened to some people in the UK and America to want to convert, to convert and do crazy shit in the name of, I guess, Allah. So they are attracted to, I guess, the culture or the religion to want to do feel that they're gonna go against the place where they're born. It's some crazy shit. It's some crazy stuff. But that's what is around. I'm just trying to tell you, there's people, they don't need no nuclear weapons to hit America. If they want to if people want to do something, you cannot stop them unless they give up themselves with social media, with their phone, or somebody witness something. You get what I mean? You cannot stop it. Same way they couldn't stop school shootings, right? You cannot stop it. And these schools been breeding these individuals for years. They've been breeding them, and that's why, sorry to say, don't want to. I'm just going to be raw and unfiltered. That's why in Minnesota, Trump went there. No one's thinking of this. I'm bringing this up, and I'm going to be straight up, down to earth, right? He went to Minnesota, and some people, it's not just for the money. It's not because just the undocumented citizens. I guaranteed, and I'm not saying everywhere, and not all of them, but I guarantee they probably had some type of some extremist Islamist stuff going on in Minnesota. And I swear there's been stories way before all of this ICE stuff. I swear I used to see stories talking about when 9/11 happened, how the rise of these extremists who saying that they're Muslim was rising up in England or UK and America. And they arrested some individuals, and they investigated some of these schools, right? So I'm not talking no shit. Correct me if I'm wrong. They live and let live. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So, example now, say if there's some what's called people in Minnesota who are like this. That's why ICE is there. People might say, "Oh, ICE is doing all this wrong stuff. The ICE, they're terrible. They had ruined people's lives." But you got to look on it, man. They work for the government. Even Obama was using ICE. Obama used ICE so much that he deported almost 3 million people. Obama, the people who a lot of Americans loved, he deported uh, 3 million people almost. He deported 3 million people, Obama. So those people in Minnesota, I'm sorry, yes, not all of you are guilty. I mean, not all of you guilty, but there's a good amount of you who are probably guilty too, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, I know this, and people, everybody wants to be politically correct, man. I know in Somalia, they when it when it comes to being this strict Islamist type of thing, the culture is there. The culture is there. And when they want to really put it down, the women have to be covered up. They have to have the thing over. They're really strict with that. Really strict with that. You get what I'm saying? So besides all the scamming, right? Besides all the scamming and them getting deported for national security, if you're illegal, because this is where I agree with Trump. I'm sorry. And people might not like me for this and stuff. People, please subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll never take it back. If you are illegal, and people hate me for this, if you are illegal in the country, you're illegal. You have no right to be in the country because you could be a threat to national security. You get what I'm saying? So when I say World War III, it doesn't necessarily mean just the weapons what are exploding everywhere around the world, right? You have, like he said, Mr. Trump, and not and other governments don't want to say it. They just be quiet. They're quiet. You have people who are the most dangerous people who are escaping other countries coming to America and Canada, be it if it's terrorists or if it's what's called drug cartels or if it's organized crime. These people from other countries come into Canada and America with influence and they do a lot of shit. You get what I'm saying? And even Trump himself said that, for example, and I'm repeating it over, that the reason he went to Venezuela is because the cartels, what he named as a terrorist group, the cartels are responsible for feeding a lot of Americans narcotics and causing almost 300,000 deaths. So they might not care politically because they just want money, the cartels. But in a way, that's like a war. That's the smartest way how to fight a war. You get them, the population, uh, addicted to something. And that's how you could win mentally the war and poison the people. So that's why he went to Venezuela, even though people think it's oil, right? Yes. And the reason what a lot of people don't know why Trump is hates Canada and China's relationship, and you guys search this up yourself. I encourage you to search this up with the tariffs. Why the tariffs are out there for Canada, besides what we're saying, natural resources. Trump blames the fentanyl stuff on China and Canada. Let me say it again. Trump blames the fentanyl problem in America on China and Canada. And that's why the tariffs he puts on strictly, or he wants to, on Canada and China, because China has the ingredients, he's saying, what is very important for the fentanyl. And Canada you know, distributes it and goes through the borders, right? But the only reason he softened up on Canada is because Mexico, Canada, and America have a deal called CUSMA. So he can't really put too much hard restrictions on Canada because of this agreement prior. But he blames Canada and China for the fentanyl drug problem in America. So these tariffs in regards to Canada and China, the main reason is that and the rare earth also. So he doesn't like that relationship. He hates that relationship, people. People, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I got the super chat up here. Your comments will be highlighted. I don't know how much people know about rare earth. I don't know how much of you guys know about the rare earth stuff, but that's one of the main reasons Mr. Trump doesn't like China dealing with Canada, because he had a deal with them, and it's for renewable energy or some type of energy type of stuff, something to do with minerals. But in return, America gives them what does America give them again? I think it's soya beans, some agricultural stuff. What else? They give them this oil too. I forgot which oil it is. Is it canola oil? They supply them. So China relies on America to give them, I guess, food, because let's be straight up, in China it's polluted a lot in certain places. So they rely on America. So now they're gonna team up with Canada. So all of this stuff, like I said, it's economic war. They have beef, right? There's beefs going on over money and natural resources. See, that's why France is in war with Africa economically, because the countries what they used to have power over are realizing they don't need France. You get what I'm saying? They're saying we don't need France. These African countries, especially like Burkina Faso and Mali and certain others, right? People, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Jane, the Democrats are known for leaving messes. Yes, yes. Much respect, everybody in the chat. Support the chat. You could support the platform and give a donation. If you're in the chat, you get your comment highlighted. But yes, Mr. Trump is doing certain things. I'm sorry, I do agree with certain things what he does. People want to make it look like everything what he's doing is wrong. No, no. Right? I've been having my debates, behind the scenes, even with my own pops. All today, he's talking about Trump. Trump has raped a girl. He done all this stuff to a girl and stuff. I said, where is the evidence? I want to see the paperwork. Oh, it's in the Epstein files. I said, even if it's in the Epstein files, this man has the power with the FBI, and he took that shit out. So forget about all of that stuff. Even if you want to believe all that stuff, there's no proof right now being presented that he's done anything, and he's the president right now. So you just gotta face the music. They have zero evidence. Yes, I never heard. Where's the? I'm waiting for the evidence. But you know who looks guilty? I tell you who looks guilty: Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. That's who look guilty. They look guilty of something. You know what Bill Clinton said? I can't believe what he said. I caught something what he said. Oh, pictures for 20 years ago. Like he said something regarding the pictures, like why you guys thinking I'm involved in anything just because I was in pictures? That's what he's saying. Mr. Clinton is saying, why are you guys basically bringing me up because I'm in pictures? What do you guys think of that? And you know what? Like I said, this war has distracted this whole Epstein shit. I basically seen it coming, right? Much respect, OG Kicks in the chat. Bring up the likes if you can. I seen this coming, people. I said it yesterday. I said, yo, I'm just waiting for the war. Sorry, I said, I'm waiting for the war because of all this Epstein shit. Soon as I seen Clinton, right, who did not want to go, and Bill Clinton and his wife, I said, I'm waiting for the attack. When is this attack coming? I'm just waiting for Trump to attack Iran. When is that coming? He took too long. He took too long. He took too long. I was like saying, when is this gonna happen? And it happened. It's happening. But I think though, I wish it was just America. I wish it was just America doing it, because by seeing Israel in it, it doesn't seem right. That's why I'm telling you, brothers and sisters out there, like, even if you're all for it, just seeing that Israel is in it, it's like you want to go, nah, 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 nah. I got my big brother right here, right? I wish it was just America, like he done it, like how he done in Venezuela, instead of you getting Israel to come along with you. Like, you get what I mean? Because like it or not, it's Israel there too, right? Yeah, distraction. Now, as I'm on this broadcast, and as you said, a distraction. Much respect, Miss Hertz. Um, let's see if the Epstein files will be talked about after this weekend. After this weekend, let's see if the Epstein files will be talked about. I'm going to say it again. After this weekend, let's see if the Epstein files will be talked about. And so far, no arrest. Nobody's locked up. So if no arrest, nobody's locked up, nobody cares anymore. Even though there's still a lot of dirty men who needs to be locked up. Right? So nobody's going to be taught. This is taking over. This war thing is taking over. This war thing is taking over. You're not going to hear about no more Epstein. I'm just telling you guys. What do you guys think about that? People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What do you think about that? Dems will talk about it but fix nothing. Yeah, yo, you know what? They should have just kept that undercover, that whole thing. They should have just not, well, people wanted it. They keep bringing it up because anybody with knowledge would know the people who was involved with Epstein are 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 billionaires, politicians, people with influence, and they still don't want to, just because they're that type of individual, we will never know, or there will never be any other convictions. So that's what they're telling us. Like, really, all they're trying to put through your head, that there's so much files to go through, but we're not seeing any arrest. So the perfect distraction is a war right now, because guess what? Trump's name's being brought up too much. His name's being brought up too much with Epstein. So let's spark this war and make people shut up. Makes sense, right? Well, you think they're gonna keep talking about Epstein? Put $1. It's right there. You can support the platform, man, in the super chat. But yeah, um, we're not gonna hear about no Epstein too much. That shit's gonna be overshadowed. The proof is in the pudding already with Clinton. What do you guys okay? What do you guys know about what happened with Clinton yesterday? You have 10? It would be nice if you put it in the super chat, man. What do you guys think about, what do you guys know about what Clinton said? That's an example. If anybody could tell me what Clinton said, that would be interesting. Interesting. Do you guys know what he said? Because if you don't, that proves my point that this war thing really overshadowed it, and it's there. I could look up Clinton. Let me look up Clinton. What he said. What did Bill Clinton say? Clinton said Trump didn't do anything wrong. Yes, I heard that. Clinton said Trump did not do anything wrong. I heard that 100%. He didn't do anything wrong. Bill Clinton. And I swear, his wife, when she was trying to run to be president, she was talking about Iran. You know what she was saying? She was saying she would have made a no fly zone, that Iran has to be taken out. So she can't be a hypocrite, or the Clintons can't be a hypocrite against Donald Trump. Because I remember her talking when she was doing her little campaigning of being a president and what she would do if in the Middle East, in regards to the Middle East, that you would have a no fly zone, that Iran could not really fly, like limit them from moving. So she was planning to go into Iran herself, right? She wanted to do the same thing. Now, let's see his deposition. Clinton on his foundation. Fuck that. I don't want to know about the foundation. Epstein helped you. Clinton. Epstein helped you, Clinton. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bill Clinton testifies that he did nothing wrong during Epstein deposition, echoing Hillary's insistence that she had no idea about his crimes. So, yeah, so. Yeah, Hillary Clinton wanted to go to Iran too, right? So, of course, you're going to deny it, Bill, but the pictures must be AI of those women on your lap, right? And he said, he had a whole bunch of talk. I don't know if you guys want me to read this shit, but he had a whole bunch of talk, right? So, his lady, Hillary, wanted to go to war too. She wanted to take out Iran. She was talking tough too when she was doing her campaign, right? Much respect. How many innocent people they have murdered with the attacks? How many? Who are you talking about? America? Are you talking about America? Who? Roy, who are you talking about? How would who are you talking about? Let me know, right? So, Bill Clinton, it's going over people's heads because of this, what's going on in the war. I could read this, but I don't think people are people interested in Bill, what he got to say, because I know he's a liar. He cheated on his wife 2 times, what we know of. So anything what he says, will you believe it? Right? He's the one with the most pictures on the internet, right? Killer said she didn't know Epstein while she's standing in the picture with him. Holy. Yes, but you know what? People should be more dissecting it. I dissected them. I got the episodes. I dissected them enough to expose that shit because it's going over people's heads. I thought Roy was talking about the whole world. Maybe wrong. Yeah, whoever wants to, yes, they lie a lot. Yeah, they lie a lot. A lot. So this the main thing is, yes, the war is important. Yes, and it's all around the world. The whole world is watching right now. The whole world is watching. Trump has put a tariff on there, and that goes over people's heads. The tariffs is an economic war because it's not something what's to help anybody. It's just to help America. So America is at war with the world through economics because of Trump. It's just not illustrated to you if you're American that way because you might not be looking at like that, but everyone else is. All the other countries, when he's saying he's putting tariffs on this and putting tariffs on that, that is like you're attacking a country's economics, right? You're attacking the country's economics. You're hoping that they're suffering. But you guess what? Some countries could survive. Guess who's suffering? Guess who's suffering? Cuba. Cuba is feeling it. The people been starving. They're saying down there. People been starving. Lack of things getting through, right? So there's other countries. If you are not friendly to America, you will suffer. Certain countries, right? It costs us more because we produce almost nothing. Yeah, okay. I like how you put it. I like how you put it. I'm gonna give you a nickname, Miss Miss Z. I'm gonna call you Miss Z, man. I'm gonna call you Miss Z. Yes, it costs us more because we produce almost nothing. But Trump is saying that America needs to start producing its own things to make America great again. Correct me if I'm wrong. Trump is the one, he's saying that, and I understand what he's saying, but in reality, it's like what you were just saying, Miss Z. Um, it costs you guys more because you don't produce almost nothing. So then the growth, like I'm hearing people told me that groceries has gone up, like it's very bad in America. So America's going through its own things. Meanwhile, there's this uh, conflict going on overseas. People used to complain a lot. Why is the government more concerned about other countries more than their own country? That's true, right? Last year, America produced $24.9 trillion of goods. What? Okay, what's the goods? Because I know China used to hear China, China, China on everything, right? The year before, it was 29 trillion, right? So 29 trillion of goods. What's the goods? Let me know. Yes, Trump is pushing for self-reliant industrialization. Hopefully, even past Trump, I hope it's more than just Trump, people. I hope it's more than just Trump. And please subscribe. But this war, like I was saying, Russia is going to come into it and China is going to come into it. Remember what I told you, and I'll be back to remind you guys. Russia's going to get into it and China's going to get into it some type of way. They're just watching. They're going to use whatever they can to, you know, put themselves into it because they could be next. Think of it. America already has some examples. America already put some examples out, especially that guy in North Korea, right? Especially that guy in North Korea. You could be next, right? America is the world's second largest exporter. Hopefully, the next president knows how to bring back all the companies back from offshore. So you're not for Trump with what he's doing, eh? Tell Russia and China come get the rump and let the people be. They don't want that smoke. You don't think so? You don't think China's already kind of put out a warning to America already? I seen something. They already put a warning out to America, China. Russia kind of quiet. Yes, we could be next time anytime now. Well, who's next? I think on America's radar, but he's quiet. He's not causing no trouble. He's silent because he actually was educated in America. The North Korean president. He's looking at that and saying, "No, you know what? I'm gonna be quiet, man, because everybody's villainizing me. They're saying I'm doing nuclear stuff too over North Korea. So I'm gonna be quiet, 100%. He's gonna be quiet down in North Korea. But who's next? There's somebody next. Cuba. Cuba's next. Yes, you said it. Cuba's next, Paul Warner. I think Trump is doing a great job. Let me judge it. I like that you put that out there. Texas Jane. Trump doing a great job. You know what? For what? You know what? And people might hate me for what I'm going to say. He is doing a great job because he's doing exactly what he said he wanted to do. Most presidents, they say all types of shit and they don't do nothing, or even prime ministers. They don't do nothing what they're saying they're gonna do. But Trump been saying all of this stuff what he's gonna do from his first term. He's been saying all of this. So, you know what? You're American, you feel it, and you feel that he's doing a great job. You're probably right. Because Biden, was Biden doing a good job? All I heard that this man was letting in everybody in the country. I heard Biden was just making it a free for all, and I never really took that in. I never took that in. I think a lot of people didn't take it that in. That when I was hearing about like people just getting through the border or whatever they were doing, I never understand that. I say, wait a minute, what's going on in America? That the is this a free for all that the president is actually just making people come in like that, like just making people just get through? Like why? And Mr. Biden, if he that guy made tons of illegal people or whatever illegals get into the country so easy, you can't blame Donald Trump for what he's doing. You can't blame him for what he's doing. And when I bring up that argument, most people they have to be quiet because if you have this guy who flooded the population with illegals even more, Mr. Biden, why why do you can't blame Trump for doing what he's doing? Just gotta say, Biden invited them. Yes, he refused to take that. Yeah, Biden was asleep for 4 years. Yeah, it's true. It's just crazy, yo. So what I'm saying is, right? My definition of this world war is not necessarily just military action. It's economic reaction. Economically, you don't need to fight a war by bombs anymore. All you have to do is starve the friggin' country out from getting resources. They didn't need to go drop any bombs in Iran, but Israel wanted that. Israel wanted that. They could have starved them out. America, with the sanctions, could have really starved them out. But the problem is, you got China and Russia helping Iran, right? America is the police. America is the police of America. America is the police of the world. That's what I've been hearing for years. And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I've been hearing America is the police of the world for years, right? 4 years. So, like I was saying, I was talking about biblical, I was talking about political, and I was talking about some science, right? In regards to natural resources like the rare earth, right? That's the one thing what China has. That's another conflict why America has a conflict with China is over power, natural resource power and production, which they want, which America used to be the top producer of energy and this mineral power, but not anymore, right? If you live in the U.S., Maryland, to be specific, one of the richest states in the U.S. and the military bases. Yeah, I heard. Yes, you're right. We see BS. Why can't you? Yeah, yep, yep. Did you see that message? I didn't see it. Let me go back. I didn't go. I didn't see it. I would see the message if donate and I would spotlight it. See, from now on in the chat, certain things I could pin so everybody reads it clear. Because sometimes when you guys are chatting, your chat it just goes quick, fast, so no one pays attention. Sometimes I won't pay attention, right? But yeah, People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Bring up the likes if you can. But like I said, this, let me show you this. He's gone on the bottom. He's gone on the bottom. That's what they're saying. And at the top is the president of Iran, or whatever his name is. That guy is talking tough right now. He's saying that they have a weapon that they're going to surprise everybody, even America. They're going to surprise. We shall see. You shouldn't be saying anything if you have something. We shall see. You have something. What's going to surprise everybody? Where's this coming from? Is it going to be the aliens coming? Because let me tell you, and respect to the people of Iran, because they shouldn't be held hostage. America, and with Israel, but especially America, will bury that military in Iran. So Trump is right. You should just give up. You might get immunity. Put down your arms. Don't bother, because you have no chance in hell of surviving American military beating. Yo, I read the Quran a long time ago. Not gonna, unless there's some alien or some magician, you ain't winning nothing against America. The only thing they could do is damage their neighbors. That's it. Only thing I see that they could just damage their neighbors. They could send missiles to Qatar and Jordan and Saudi Arabia. That's all they could do. You can't do nothing more. That's it. Can't do anything more. They were talking about the U.S. bases and countries in the Middle East. That's it. That's all they could hit. That's all they could hit. Maybe they might could hit. That's all they could hit. But after when they hit that, America knows where those missiles came from. And they're going to blast them. Watch. They just gave us the previews. They just give us the previews. Tomorrow, Monday, like he said, all through the week, they're gonna turn them to dust. That's where he said dust. They're gonna turn to dust, like what they done in Venezuela. They brought those Cuban soldiers were in boxes. I heard my friend keeps telling me about it. How they were in these shoe boxes. After that bombing and that whatever, they took those Cuban whatever remains. I don't know what happened to them, but they were all in shoe boxes and they shipped them back to Cuba. They didn't even use that weapon. What those people was describing, what they used in Venezuela. They didn't even use that. Let me say it again. They didn't use the weapon, what they used in Venezuela, yet. They didn't use that. They probably don't want to show it. They don't want to show all their cards. America's not showing all their cards. So this guy, what's his name? The president of whoever of Iran, better give up. Just give up, man. But I understand why some don't want to give up, because those people who give up, they will have to actually be exiled. They have to leave and go to another country, because the people who know of that Revolutionary Guard or whoever they are, right? They're endangered. Anybody who is with the old guard, they're endangered if they harmed, which they have harmed a lot of the population. So they're not safe to be in Iran anymore. So that's why you kind of have to look on it on their end. Why would they give up if they know that if they give up, they might die? They're thinking like that. They don't trust it, right? Let's see something. What are you saying? The real deal there is that DT tried to allow conversations and boardrooms, table talks. Okay, what are you saying? DT will never show his hand. Poker player ever would show their hand. No, not showing their hand. Mm-mm. No, it's not gonna. They just got the preview. They got the preview. They got the stuff where it's like the old shit. They're seeing they're seeing just the little stuff. That's nothing. They're seeing the little stuff. They ain't ready for what's coming next. So they just better, if they don't want to go in a shoebox, if they don't want to be in a shoebox, right? They better just uh, give up. Some of them, I could understand why some don't want to give up though. Honestly, people, we should kind of understand why some don't want to give up, because imagine you give up and you're in that country where you were, all those people hate you. You know what they're gonna do? The people are gonna kill those ex-revolutionary guard and all of them. All of those guys need to leave, like how the Nazis left Germany and went to where in South America, Argentina. Some Americans took some of those Nazis into, and Russia took some of those Nazi scientists into. So they're gonna have to leave. Guess where they're coming? See, I don't even want to go to that. That's nasty work. What I'm gonna say. If they give up peacefully, you think they're going to keep them as the government? You think they would keep the same police and Revolutionary Guard if they were to surrender in power? No, they're not going to keep them in power if they give up. Where do you think they're going to go? They're going to have to leave Iran. Where do you think they're going to go? Israel? No, they're not going to go to the rest of the Middle East countries. They're going to be probably, I don't even want to say it. It's kind of, it's frigged up. You want me to say where they would go? Guess where they would go? They would fucking come bring them to Canada or America. And then people say, no, no, like it's conspiracy. They would bring the fucking guys who gave themselves up and make them live in Canada and America. As these whatever title, they would change their names and shit, make it look like they're some type of refugees. They have done it before. They have done it before. They would make it look like what we used to call prisoners of war. That's what they were. They would be that, because then you hear what Trump said. He said, if you guys give up, you'll have immunity. What does immunity mean? What is Trump? What's Trump mean by immunity? If you give up, do you think that the people who give up are going to tell you, Trump, I'm just going to say, oh, I was working for the Revolutionary Guard. I was the one with the supreme leader. We used to behead a lot of people. Yes, we were doing that, right? Think of it. You were working for this deadly evil man, as Trump illustrates, and you're going to give yourself up to tell that you were part of this? No, because the people in Iran will come kill your ass, so you have to go leave, exile. Maybe they'll do a deal with Russia, right? Means they won't be captured and prosecuted. They will be captured by the people. They can't stay there anymore. The people will know who they are. They will hunt them down and they will eliminate all of the Revolutionary Guard or whoever were the police. They all will be eliminated. They can't stay in Iran anymore. They can't. They won't let them live. Not the people. Knowing that they beheaded people, it wasn't just the supreme leader didn't do it himself. He had his soldiers do it. He had over the years, the hundreds of people or thousands of people got killed from the Revolutionary Guard. How much people are in the Revolutionary Guard? It's not 10 people. It's not 20 people. It's probably a couple thousand. It's a couple thousand of them. So that couple thousand, I don't think they want to stay in Iran. I guarantee they're going to want to jump ship and say, okay, the ones who come, oh, we were part of this. We were part of it, and we please, if we're gonna give ourselves up, it's like a hostage type of situation. If we give ourselves up, Trump, are you guaranteeing us safety? That's how they're talking behind the scene. Trump, even the same leader, this fool right here, he's probably saying, if I give myself up, could I be in exile in a certain country? Like, could you make a deal and talk to Russia that I could bring my family to Russia and stay there? And yes, we'll give up the government. We won't fight. Could you take maybe 700 of us? 700 of us. We don't care about the rest of the soldiers. Just leave them there. But my men, about 700 of us, all to Russia or someplace, and then we won't fight anymore. Talking to Trump or whoever. Yes, making deals because they don't want that. They don't want that. Let's talk. I seen what you done to the guy in Venezuela. Holy, that was something. Oh, I seen what you done to to the palace, to our supreme leader. You know what? I'm not gonna be a fool. I'll take my rest of my. I'll take the ex. I'll come out of here. I'm not gonna fight anymore. But that's the smart choice. Because if you stay and you think you're going to fight America, you are going to be done. And first of all, you better make sure you make a deal with America, who's ever there. Because if you don't make a deal, Israel will know who you are. That's all I got to say. And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Much respect, but that's true. These guys are probably contemplating the same guy, the president, saying, you know what? Look how they took out the supreme leader, yo. Look, you see how they done him? You know what? Um, I don't want to die like that. Get Donald Trump on the phone. Get whoever on the phone, and let's make a deal for my ass to go to another country where they will take me in. Let's do that. Who gives a shit about the rest of the soldiers? Let them deal with Israel. Let them deal with the population, and that's what would happen. When Saddam got knocked out in Iraq, what do you think happened? His son died. Remember his two sons? They punished those guys. Those guys was putting down terror for years. They're living it up with jewelry, money. Any woman on the street they would take, and they would do all types of disgusting things to them. They would take women, men's wives, and then they would do all types of disgusting things to them. And you remember Saddam's sons and a whole bunch of his clan? They were doing things for years. And after when America hit their ass, you know what happened? The Iraqi people who was oppressed by the Ba'ath Party got annihilated, and some of them had to leave and go. Guess where some of the Ba'ath Party is? This is what I'm telling you because I'm not making it up. Where do you think some of that Ba'ath Party is? Probably they're in the UK. Some of them are in Canada, and some of them are in America. These people who were the top echelon of the Iraq, whatever power. What happened to all the people they brought to Cuba, Guantanamo Bay? Where's all those 700 or more people who were these terrorists? Where's all of the Al Qaeda people who they caught? Where are they? Do we know? No, we don't. Mm. You're saying, what do you think about the war in Pakistan? That's happening. Glad he brought that up. Glad he brought that up. Let me bring that back. What do you think about the war in Pakistan and Afghanistan? It's happening for 4 days ago. You hear that, people? I said that earlier. That's why I said World War III doesn't have to just be what we see right now. World War III means multiple different fights going on because it's the world, not America. It's the world, not Israel. It's the world. And Pakistan and Afghanistan is fighting a war, and people don't give a damn. But guess what? They have history. A big population of Taliban is in Pakistan. That's where the Taliban come from, Pakistan. Millions of them. So there's a war happening, and probably Pakistan will win. Pakistan will win. Imagine Pakistan takes over Afghanistan. Isn't this what Bush was talking about, and certain other people were talking about? Under your whatever, behind your back, this Islamic State is being created. If Pakistan takes over Afghanistan, it's going back to when what's Ben Laden's way. Let me say it again. If Pakistan takes over Afghanistan, it will be part of Pakistan, Afghanistan, the place where Russia been fighting and America been fighting for years. So meanwhile, Trump is busy with all of this, and we're all looking at all this. Some other shit's going on, and no one's going to take that seriously. They're not going to take, oh, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Who gives a shit about Pakistan? Pakistan has a nuclear weapon. You think India wants Pakistan to get more stronger by taking over Afghanistan? India and Pakistan are bad. They're bad blood. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, man. Afghanistan wanted to have Islamic ideology in Pakistan, and Pakistan won't have it. Okay, yeah. We as U.S. citizens and government and other countries, we all need to mind our business and do better for the citizen first. That would be nice. That would be great. But you know what? I'm gonna give it. This is just Trump's campaign. This is what he wants to do. This is part of his campaign, or people want him to do. You get what I'm saying? Pakistan and yep, next to Iran, yep, U.S. backed. This is just what Trump wants to do. I don't. You can't. You're not gonna stop it. You're not gonna stop his campaign. You're not gonna stop the other Israel's campaign. Actually, let me rewind it. More than Trump, Israel wants this. Israel wants this. That's who wants this, people. It's Israel. Because this is going to benefit them more than even America. It benefits them security. Because now they are saying they have no threat of terror. That's how they're putting it out. And people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. What's the campaign based on? His campaign is based on him making history. He said no other president has ever done what he has just done by doing this, right? International Force White Eagle Afghanistan. Yeah, a lot of things are going on, people. A lot of things. Well, that's selfish. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. But it's the Down to Earth Network. Remember, we're on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. I know iHeartRadio people like our iHeartRadio. This episode will be on that by the end of the week, and all the other episodes on the channel. I you know, gonna tell you to check out the previous episodes. We have a lot of episodes on here. Me and the cast too also. We do all different types of subjects. This is just the biggest subject in the media. Any ideas you guys have, any subjects you guys want me to research, you could put it in the chat. It could be anything. It could be Black history, it could be world history, it could be music, anything. Because, like I'm saying, I'm planning to do some different shit soon. Right? Much respect. Much respect to everybody who was in the chat tonight. But yeah, what subjects out there you think should be explored right now besides this war shit, right? Let me know in the chat. Trump and his world war, economic war. Besides this shit, what else subjects you guys feel or want to, tap into. The State of the Union, I think I have that already. I might have done that. Yeah, I did do that the other day. I have that episode up. Talked a lot about it. Minnesota and the lady, I'm gonna bring her up. I done Minnesota. Minnesota and Omar not going to prison. Yes, I'm gonna talk about her. She has a story. Yeah, she has a story. Very interesting, that one there. Tell whoever wants Trump, come get him ASAP. Holy. Elon Musk. You guys want to know about him? Some more about him? He's interesting, right? What else? People in the chat, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Yeah. What subjects? Why is Clinton not in prison yet? Seal Island, False Bay, South Africa, great white sailfish. Gotta look that up. Well, you know one good story, and I've done it, but I'm gonna talk about it again. Russia tricking Africans from Uganda to come to Russia for jobs, and then they put them in the military to go to Ukraine. I didn't get to finish that up, right? I got to talk about how they are tricking these Africans to go to Russia and to fight the Ukraine war. That is crazy shit. Why Trump is, well, you say why Trump is not in prison yet? Yeah, I know some people are saying that too. I know 34 charges. People are claiming that he was involved in Epstein stuff, but no excuse. Well, people, I gotta go right now. Thanks for tuning in to the Down to Earth podcast, the Down to Earth Network with your host, Sean Myrie. Please subscribe, support the channel. I'm out.